It's your problematic fave. Canceled again for being too based and for too fat. Unbelievable, right? Unbelievable. What did you do now? Well, you see, I had the audacity to disagree with weirdos on the internet. I know. My mistake. I'm sorry. Okay, I didn't know. I had an opinion on Twitter. I'm sorry. Oh, how was I supposed to know that they were going to get mad? How was I supposed to know that the tweet was going to leave the target audience? I didn't know that. No. Darn it. Opinions online? What are you, crazy? Luckily, I'm a woman, so my life is on easy mode. So it doesn't even really bother me. Because that's what being a woman's all about. Yeah. You just kind of exist and then your life is easy. Yeah. Duh. Everybody knows that. Oh. Oh gosh. You really think people would do that, Denims? Get on the internet, having tweets, leaving their target audience? I guess so. I guess so. The problem on Twitter is that everyone takes everything as a personal slight against them because everyone on Twitter has like hardcore main character syndrome and they think every tweet is actually about them. When in reality, it's not always about you, man. It's actually not. I know. You're just lucky you're not down in the mines doing cybersecurity for a 6-figure wage. I know. It's fucked up, man. Fucked up. Okay, I'm sure you guys are all thinking, what the fuck are you talking about, Denim? She's gone insane. Officially, it's over. Don't worry, guys. Not yet. Soon, but not yet. Now, what was the original offender? Was it a Keemstar? Mr. Keemers. I believe it was Mr. Keemers. Yep. Drama alert coming in with the hardcore hot takes right now. Let us begin from the beginning, shall we? It is time to start. So we must begin where all things begin, on the Drama Alert Twitter. Now, the Drama Alert people, aka Keemstar, tweets out, "No way, Hassan Abi," with 2 S's. I know he knows his name. I don't know why people do this. It's so stupid. Anyways, think streaming is harder than a real job.
Yes.
As you guys can imagine, why people are mad on the internet.
Real job can be gruesome. A real job can make you very tired, but a real job doesn't suck the soul out of you. You know what I mean? In the same way that 9 hours of streaming absolutely will. So, yes, a real job can be gruesome. A real job can
that was what this was the 20-second clip that was posted. There's no way that there was more to this conversation, right? Right? No, surely he had a 20-second segment. As you guys know, Hassan is very famous for getting his points out in a short, concise manner. We all know this to be true, of course. Surely. So, some fucking losers tweeting the same old. Why is he following me? Stop following me. Ew. Sorry, the guy who made this quote tweet, "This guy makes shit up for 9 hours a day. His commute to work is walking into his 5th bedroom. Tomorrow, a real job is hard. LMFAO." Bruh. Anyways. Okay, anyways. Hassan quote tweets, post the full, I guess, clip. He also didn't even need to clarify shit. He said it doesn't suck the soul out of you the same way that ... that leaves the door open to other jobs sucking the soul out of you in other ways. Exactly. He even calls it a real job over and over again. Doesn't that mean because he knows it's a privilege to be streaming successfully? Yeah. So let's watch it.
What leftist isn't excited to see a train?
What does that mean? What does that mean? Okay. And then there's this. It's wild how this completely out of context clip made its way to Twitter so fast. I was talking about how much a 9-hour stream eats away at my social battery and how I can't socialize afterward, comparing it to my sales job before. I recognize how fortunate I am every day.
No. Social battery wise, unless you're in retail, unless you're in fucking
Oh, a hype
retail,
train.
it's very different. You're out of
I started the hype train. Thanks, see, poggers, trains. Did you see Ryan Beard even laid into Hassan? Okay, I'm gonna say something. I know I shouldn't be making enemies in the content space. Not that I'm making an enemy out of Ryan Beard, but more importantly, I'm making an enemy out of YouTubers. Okay? Fuck you guys. Okay? YouTubers, I swear to God, do
Yellow
not
heart,
work.
yellow heart, yellow heart, yellow heart.
Every single YouTuber that I am friends with, anyways, they're like, oh, yeah, I guess I have to make a video again. I'm like, when did you post your last video? And they're like, oh, it posted like a month ago, but I recorded it 3 months ago. I'm like, so what have you been up to? Nothing. Are you kidding me? Uh, uh, go fuck yourself. Excuse you. Okay? Excuse you. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. They're working smarter, not harder. That is the truth. Okay? That's true. That is true. Yeah. Yeah. That's honestly is true. But I am so jealous. I'm so jealous that they get to work like really hardcore for like a month and then not have to work, like not have to post or worry about posting because they already have prepped all their videos for the next few months. It's like you. Okay.
No. Social battery wise, unless you're in retail, unless you're in fucking retail, it's very different. You're out of touch. I'm gonna die, dude. There's motherfuckers who are accountants in here and they're misunderstanding what I'm saying. A real job
Hey,
does not
this guy's
expend your
talking about
social
me.
battery in the same fucking way as someone who did a sales job, a real job. Okay. I'm telling you, as someone who did both, like 9 hours of constant performance and people pleasing taps you out from social scenarios. After 9 hours of that, I could probably do fucking physical labor. It would not bother me, but I can't fucking do more social shit. That's my point.
I think the analogy that chat comes up with is really good here. Let's let it play.
Like, there are obviously real jobs out there that are good comparisons. Service sector, people pleasing jobs would be very similar. Those are like, I think, customer service type shit. But like if you're an accountant or if you're even like in sales, my interactions with clients was limited, way more limited than like constantly having to do this for 9 hours with like a back and forth interaction for 9 hours. That's what like sucks your social battery and you just tap out after it. Yeah, think about it this way. Like you give presentations for your job, right? Imagine giving a presentation for 9 hours straight. It's like after a while, you would be like, I don't want to talk ever again.
I think that that is honestly the best analogy on the planet. Genuinely, having a 9-hour meeting in front of tens of thousands of people. It's I mean, and also the reality is if you do anything for 9 hours straight, you'll be tired. An NBA arena holds 20,000 people. Now entertain those people for 8 hours? Yeah. Yeah. He's just saying that he's mentally exhausted. He's not even saying mental exhaustion. He's talking about social exhaustion. I mean, let's go over the which way do I want to go? Do I want to say what I said online that got me canceled, or do I want to say my opinions on this? We'll start with how I felt about this tweet. We'll go from here, and then I'll talk about my pseudo cancellation. Now, I have said really quickly, okay? I have said so many times before, I think retail workers should be allowed to have a gun that they can use. They just have to warn the target, give them a 5-minute warning first. And I am 100% serious because retail, service work, food service, that is the hardest work on the fucking planet, and no one will convince me otherwise. Okay? I'm sorry. Retail workers should not have to deal with the fucking Karens getting mad and screaming at them and trying to get them fired because they're upset that their fucking makeup bottle was $2 more expensive than it was last time. I've said it before. I will say it again. I have nothing but respect for retail workers, and that is why I don't give a fuck what type of service I get from a server, for example. I will always tip 20%. Always. Because I don't care if you're like out of it. I don't need a fake smile. I don't need fake happiness. I just want to get my stuff. That's good enough for me. As long as you just show up to my table and say like, okay, what do you want? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, great. I've had servers that are like, this is their face. What can I help you with? I don't give a single fuck at all. There is nothing more exhausting than faking a smile and a happy voice when you are not mentally there. And again, I'm just going to tip 20%. I just, listen, you're having a bad day as is. I'm not going to make you feel worse because you got a shitty tip. Like, you have to do some crazy shit. Like, maybe throw the food into my face for me to be like, maybe I'm not going to give 20%.
It's about time Denims and Hassan got canceled. They have so many pets and no guns for them. It's like they don't care about the Constitution.
Honestly, yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. Yeah. I host FDA audits, and being on that for like 9 to 12 hours a day is so fucking draining. I get home, I have no juice left at the end of it. Yeah. Now, again, you have to assault me to not have a tip? Yeah, like you have to. I'm not saying, to be clear, I'm not saying everyone else needs to tip 20%. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, me personally, I have the ability to do so, and I don't go out to eat that often. So when I do, I would like to tip 20% because I know that there's lots of people that don't tip 20%. There's lots of people that tip fucking 5%. So if I can, I would like to. That's just my stance. To continue. Service workers and food service workers and retail workers, I have nothing but respect for them. And I do not think it is okay that they have to deal with the bullshit that they have to deal with. I'm pretty sure like once a month, I make a tweet about how retail workers and service workers should be able to do whatever the fuck they want to do, as long as they're doing their job. And there's always people that get mad at me. There was like a service worker who like had they were running like a drive-through, and the drive-through person was being a fucking asshole and like refusing to pay or something. It was a bunch of bullshit. And the service worker said, okay, go fuck yourself. And he closed the window because this is someone that's like refusing, like that guy wanted him to grovel. And I stand with that guy. I stand with that service worker. Fuck that guy. You should not have to deal with people screaming at you as a job. That should not be a job. It should not be fair that you get to have customers coming in and day out screaming at you just so that you can close the service window and have your manager scream at you. That's not fair. And I think customers should be allowed to say, sir, I don't care what you're going through. If you're gonna behave this way, we are not going to serve you. Next in line, please. You see the one where the guy in the car wash sprayed them through the window? I don't remember that. So that's where I am about service workers. That's where I am about retail workers, because it's like, it's the worst of both worlds. You have to do all this emotional labor, which, by the way, in society, people don't value emotional labor ever. And you have to put on this like fucking fake smile. You have to put on your fake customer service voice. You have to be nice no matter how rude a customer is. And then you can have dog shit coworkers, which nobody ever talks about that. The stress of having bad coworkers or asshole coworkers. And then you get to have a shitty manager. And for what? For garbage fucking pay. But that is also why I say, I think that they should get paid more. Anyone here who doesn't work retail, anyone here who's lucky enough to work like a white collar job, I don't know about you guys, but for me, I wouldn't take more money to do retail or to do service. Like, if I had to work at like an office for like $40 an hour, and it was like, hey, we'll pay you $45 an hour to work like a fast food line or like a drive-through fast food, I'd be like, no, I don't care. I don't want it. Oh, we'll pay you $50. I don't want it. No, I like the ability to enjoy my job and not want to die afterward. I'd like to keep my sanity. I'd like to keep my sanity, man. I'd like to. Okay, I would like to. When you have Asmongold going live to defend Hassan, you know you have a pretty basic take. Did Asmongold really defend him? Wow. That should be evidence enough. Asmongold is like the fucking most normie motherfucker, just takes like, honestly, genuinely, the most normie positions most of the time, or leans on conservatives. If he himself is going on this stance. If I had to go back to Chick-fil-A, I would end it all. Yeah. Uh-huh. And so I have said over and over again, I just got my first job where I don't even get to get close to being face-to-face to a customer. I would never go back. Yeah. When I say that streaming is like the hardest job I've had to do, I'm comparing it to what my degree is. My degree is in accounting. Accountants are just going to sit at their fucking computers like a bunch of nerds, putting together some stupid ass sheets. The fact that there are people who work 9-to-5 jobs at home, all right, with like one kind of annoying manager, but when they clock out, and they don't have to do any emotional labor. That's a pretty relatively easy job. After finally getting to a managerial position, I always try my hardest to face the brunt of customer hatred so that anyone under me doesn't have to deal with it, because at that wage, they shouldn't have to. You are a fucking hero, man. You're a fucking hero, and the world needs more people like you. Because as someone who's worked a job that I had shitty coworkers and a shitty manager, hilariously enough, the customers were actually the best part of the job. So again, I genuinely will stand by the statement that like retail is easily worse than streaming. On difficulties, I would say retail's a little bit harder just because, or like not a little bit, but I would say it's significantly harder because you have to deal with a manager and coworkers in addition to the customers, and you can't just tell them to all fuck off or you'll lose your job. And you get none of the privileges of being a streamer. Working from home, making your own schedule, potentially, not always, but potentially being able to make significantly more money. Because there's lots of streamers who stream to hundreds of viewers and they make as much as a fucking fast food worker would make. But I used to work at Chipotle, no thanks. God. I worked in retail. The managers I had were insanely horrific people. Some retail managers, like, they're straight from hell, man. They're straight from fucking hell. Oh, and somebody else was talking about how women who do retail and food service have to deal with getting sexually assaulted for $2.13 an hour. Pretty dog shit, not gonna lie. Women in the service industry being sexually assaulted for $2.13 an hour. I had a dude fully palm my butt in front of several people at the poker tournament, and I had to justify grabbing him by the collar and pushing him on the ground, and then having other girls get mad at me for jeopardizing our tips. I couldn't even be mad at them because it's sadly true. Like, on the topic of difficult jobs, I also think it is important. And the sad thing is, the conversations that I'm trying to have and the conversations Hassan is trying to have is not conversations that, like, we're trying to say, hey, people don't respect streamers enough because our jobs are really hard. No, we're just trying to talk about our experience to our community. That's it. We're just having a conversation with our community members and being like, yeah, the one thing that really sucks about this is blah, blah, blah. In the same way that, like, just because you have friends who work worse jobs than you, it doesn't mean you never get to complain. If you work in an office and you have a fucking neck breather manager, it doesn't mean you never get to complain to your job ever because your friend works construction. That's stupid. That's dumb. That's unbelievably stupid and dumb, and nobody believes that. No one here is trying to garner sympathy from the internet at all. We're just trying to talk to people in our communities. That's it. That's it. I've been shot on by Mars for 50 years and I haven't complained once, liberal. Yeah. People don't even talk about what retail during the pandemic was like. I worked at Trader Joe's, basically had to educate people on shutdowns, health, console them, settle them down. Have to deal with massive hogs, maskless hogs, calling me a pussy in my line for wearing a mask, all while having to rock a smile, and the company profited too. I can barely remember the time because I had to block it all out. Yep. But socialist means no complain, no house. Oh, fuck, you're right. Shit, I fucked up. You can't see the smile under the mask though, but you can hear a smile. Anyone here who's had to work call centers, you know. The customers can hear that you aren't smiling. Customers aren't going to be able to hear me strangling you. It's not worth prison time. It's okay. It's not worth it. It's fine. It's all good. Never heard a customer smile neither. I love how the psychos proved Hassan's point by blowing the whole thing out of proportion. Yeah. Okay, so let's get back to the conversation at hand. So, yeah, the other job, and again, I've said this before, and like for anyone that's been here for any period of time, you already know this because it's not a fucking controversial opinion. The other job that I think is unbelievably difficult, and it is bullshit that these people do not get paid 6 figures, are teachers, especially middle school teachers, especially those. I cannot believe the bullshit that teachers have to put up with, and that if you try and complain on their behalf and say it is fucked up what we make teachers go through, they're like, well, they literally have winter vacation and spring vacation and summer vacation. maybe they shouldn't have gotten into teaching. You're so dumb. You're like the biggest moron on the planet. We will always need teachers. Always. I want those teachers to be well compensated and not over fucking worked. Teaching should be in my opinion, teaching should be a glamorous job. I don't know how to explain glamorous. People don't even know that we get paid only 10 months a year. Those vacations are unpaid. Yeah. I'm a tutor, mostly online. I do 5 hours a day, 6 days a week. Because Son's completely right. It's exhausting mentally. I can't even read. I mean, I think it's that like, okay, let's break down the conversation a couple different ways. Pensions don't exist now because 401ks, if we want that reality of compensation, you have to pull back the financial decisions that destroyed the backbone of the retirements. I saw a headline once that said, your $5 coffees as a teacher are delaying your retirement by 5 years. And I was like, truly, what an incredible planet we live on. Incredible. I know, crazy idea. Really crazy. I'm going to say something really insane. So you guys need to buckle in. Buckle up, guys. Okay. I think teachers should be able to buy some coffee on their way to work and still be able to retire. I know. Sorry, let me get comfortable. It's just so stupid. It's so dumb. It's unbelievably dumb. I take as hot as coffee, not just any coffee, that fucking McDonald's coffee that gave 3rd-degree burns or whatever. Yeah. Okay, so let's continue, shall we? Let's continue with the conversation. Now, there's a couple of things that are teaching should have more or less the same prestige as doctors for how important the job is. You're speaking my language, man. You're literally speaking my exact language. What do you mean it delays it? I'm high, sorry. Basically, it's off of the topic of compounding interest. And $5 a day, well, I guess, well, let's see. Interest compounded. Is this good enough? Initial investment. Okay, we'll just put $0. Monthly contribution. They don't have a daily one. Monthly $5, $3.15, $150. And then let's say 40 years. Interest rate. Estimated annual interest rate. Let's say 5%. Let's say you just have a high yield saving account. Let's just say that. Compounded daily. Calculate. Here. This, I think, explains it decently well. So, like, let's say $0. Every month you buy a coffee a day, $5 a coffee, 30 days, $150. And let's say you work as a teacher for 40 years. And the interest rate is at 5%. I mean, I have a savings account that's at 4.4%, I think. So let's just say 5%. And then let's say you compound it daily. Every day you're putting in the $5. Unless I put in some numbers wrong, which I don't think that I did, but I might have put it in wrong. This makes sense. I think I get it. I think it did yearly. Let's do monthly. Let's see what happens when you do monthly. No? It didn't change. It didn't change. Compounding isn't adding the $5 every day. No, I'm aware. I mean, my bank account compounds monthly. Is this not accurate? These are still all gigantic numbers, even if it's compounding annually. Even if I'm compounding annually. Total contribution of $150 every month after 40 years is 70 grand. Add interest to that, and that's another 40 grand? Fast math. This is what that article means, to be clear. The article that's saying, hey, if you put away $5 every day instead of paying it for the coffee, you would have this money. But my point is, you shouldn't have to fucking do that to be able to retire comfortably. You shouldn't have to budget every part of your fucking life. You should be able to go and get coffee if you want to get coffee. You should be able to go and get lunch somewhere if you want to get lunch somewhere. And that shouldn't stop your ability or prevent you from being able to retire. Now imagine if instead of $150 monthly, it was like $200 cheaper rent. Yep. Also, $200K and 40 years of living would be like 1 or 2 years of living. I mean, if you're not working at all, let's say rent is $1,000, 12, 24, necessities maybe 500 a month. No, you could live off of it if you were really, really, really like living at the bare minimum frugal. Maybe like 5, 10 years? Maybe. Rent will be 1K in 40 years. Holy copium. Oh, fuck, you're right, actually. Wait. Wait, you're right, yeah. If you own the house, I mean, you still have to pay property taxes is a problem, and you still have to pay repairs and stuff, and that adds up. Wait, I wanted to respond to one other thing. One sec. Shouldn't it be $100? Your initial values are incorrect, question mark. Well, the article was talking about $5 of coffee, 5 times 30. Let's say average 30 days in a month. Am I mistaken? Is 5 times 30 not 150? Have I lost my mind? No, it's still 150. No, it's okay. I was like, oh God, I can't even do basic math anymore. It's over for me. And I don't, for anyone that's like, what type of coffee is $5? I'm just reading what the article read, man. I'm just explaining what the article wrote about. Okay, that's all. Property taxes and repairs are nothing. Sorry, I think you misread something. Property taxes and repairs are nothing compared to property taxes, repairs, and a large monthly payment. What do you mean by that? Huh? I don't understand. Anyways, it's not relevant to the point that we're talking about. All right. I'm just talking about the fact that it is fucked up that we make teachers have to think about this and be like, well, I guess I shouldn't buy coffee anymore outside. I should start making it at home whenever I can. It's just stupid. Life is meant to be enjoyed. And part of enjoying life is going out and getting yourself little treats sometimes. I will say avocado toast is like straight up a scam, though. You will never see me buying avocado toast. Ever. I'm sorry, $14? Fuck you. Fuck you. It is not worth $14. I'll pay $5 for an avocado toast, but I am not paying $15 for an avocado toast, you sick fuck. No. The markup on that is too insane. No. Sick bastards, man. Calculate how much interest Jeff Bezos will compound over 40 years, and then let's see who can afford $5 coffees. Yeah. It's only 14, not 15. OMG. They probably mean that mortgage rates are very high and property prices are super inflated right now, so monthly mortgage payments are insanely high. Maybe. I mean, once the monthly payment drops off, you're not spending a large majority of your money off paying the house. Really is a massive difference. Sure, I don't want to get too deep into the conversation of like homeowning and the cost associated with homeowning. Let's get back onto the topic of streamers having the hardest job on the planet, and everyone should feel sorry for us and give us all of their money, obviously, because that's what Hassan was talking about, of course. Last thing on this, sorry. Why should I have to treat every part of my life like a math equation? Sometimes I just want to buy tasty shit. I just think that there's a difference between being irresponsible and buying like $100 or like $1,000 purses every weekend and getting a coffee on your way to work. There is financial irresponsibility. Buying a coffee on the way to work is not financially irresponsible. And if it is in our current society, that's because we failed somewhere else. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be the case that if you want to enjoy a little bit of coffee, you have to feel guilty about it. Are you fucking kidding me? Voting Republican is financially irresponsible? Correct. As time has gone on, I have started to understand more the position of the people who vote third party or the position of people who don't vote or abstain. I still think it's wrong because it is still impacting a lot of people's lives to not vote Democrat. But I understand the position a lot better, especially in in context of the stuff happening in Gaza right now. I get it. I understand. But if you vote Republican, I do not understand. I do not understand at all. What is wrong with you? Those people don't care about you. The only people they care about are other millionaires and billionaires. Stop. Please. Christ. Oh, you're deranged. Okay. Verifying the device. To save money, maybe you should skip breakfast. To save money, have you tried dying? Just as a quick question to anyone. It's very effective. To save money, consider donating a kidney or selling it, excuse me. Do you really need 2 of them? How about cereal for dinner? Everything is okay. Let me see this.
The cereal category has always been quite affordable, and it tends to be a great destination when consumers are under pressure. So we're advertising about cereal for dinner. If you think about the cost of cereal for a family versus what they might otherwise do, that's going to be much more affordable. So you can imagine why a consumer under pressure might find that to be a good place to go.
Right. I'm all for innovation and marketing, but the idea of having cereal for dinner, is there the potential for that to land the wrong way?
Yes, what the this fool making $4 million a year. You think he's feeding his kids cereal for dinner? And how do you think consumers became under pressure? It's companies like Kellogg that have used the excuse of inflation in order to price gouge consumers. Americans are now spending more of their money on food than they have in 30 years. And companies, including but not limited to Kellogg, are spending all of that money buying back shares, $1.5 billion, in order to enrich shareholders. Not to mention, cereal for breakfast is very, very bad for your health, let alone cereal for breakfast and dinner. In fact,
I mean, you have to understand cereal is just carbs and sugar, which is just more carbs. It's not that you can't have cereal. It's just you have to recognize there's nothing in cereal. There's no fats in there that are good for you. There's no protein in there that's good for you. Very few micronutrients. It's not like you can't just eat. I mean, this is in general how everything is. You can't just eat like one thing for every meal. You can't just eat cereal for every meal. In the same way that you can't just eat like fucking bananas for every meal. My cereal has raisins in it, so it's good for me.
In fact, studies have shown that eating the box itself is better for you and more nutritious than the cereal inside. Today's breakfast cereals not only contain a ton of added sugar, including both refined grains and high fructose corn syrup, but they also have food dyes and other processed ingredients. Studies found a positive association between the frequent marketing of unhealthy foods, i.e. foods high in saturated fats, sugars, and salts, and risks of childhood obesity. Other studies showed that overeating processed foods like breakfast cereals contributes to obesity and cardiometabolic risk factors in children and adults. A 2018 study found that children's cereals had a similar energy and sodium content per 100 grams compared to other cereals, but contained significantly higher levels of total sugar and lower levels of protein and dietary fiber. The same study also showed that children's breakfast cereals were less healthy compared to other cereals on the market, and the use of nutrition claims is misleading consumers, making them think the products are healthier than they really are. But yeah, sure, cereal for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, so this guy can make the green line go like this.
And this isn't even talking about the fact that marketing for cereal is so predatory. There's a reason, guys. Anyone here who doesn't know, there's a reason that children's cereals are on the bottom and the adult cereals are on the top. I don't know if you know this, but kids are fucking short. Little fucking short ass little man. So they can only see what they're at. And so they put all the fun, sugary cereal at eye level for them. Marketing! Woo! Enjoy Kellogg's cereal for dinner. 100 million views, 2,000 likes. I wish I could see the dislike ratio, but I don't have that.
When I say cereal,
I don't have that add-on, the Chrome extension.
you say dinner. Cereal.
Dinner!
Cereal.
Dinner!
Chicken!
You can have the night off, chicken.
Oh, okay, I'll go marinate.
Cereal.
Dinner!
Cereal.
It has almost 10,000 dislikes. Comments turned off. I just needed to be clear very quickly, by the way. I don't think any of you are stupid enough to think this, but just in case, because I know today there's going to be a lot of fucking losers in chat. I am not blaming parents who do not have the time or energy to cook an actual meal every night for dinner. Being a parent is hard. Sometimes you need days off. And if sometimes you give your kids cereal and milk for dinner, that's fine. I'm not judging those people at all. I understand. I barely take care of myself, okay? I think we give a little bit of leeway to parents. However, I do judge fucking Kellogg's, this dog shit company, for trying to push this onto people and pretend like cereal is a healthy alternative to having a home-cooked meal. My anger is entirely, completely with the fucking corporations that think that they can fucking scam us into being complete morons all the time. I am not at all trying to shame parents who are either financially poor or time poor or anything like that. It's just, this is fucking insane to me. But also, I mean, even eating cereal for breakfast is kind of, you shouldn't be having sugar. If you can help it and you have the time and money to do so, you shouldn't be having sugar for breakfast. Okay? Sugar for breakfast is not a good idea. Try and have something that has some proteins in it, some fats in it, some carbs. I know that there are some people who are vegan in chat, but anyone who's not vegan, honestly, having eggs for breakfast saved my life. I have like 2 eggs with some bread on the side. Maybe a little bit of cheese. Some tea. And that's it. And I feel good. I feel ready to go for the rest of the day for like the next fucking 5 hours. So 2 eggs for breakfast is honestly always been a good breakfast for me. Could I offer you an egg in these trying times? Don't forget fiber. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I just cannot have enough fiber in my body. I literally just have the fiber supplements, the Kirkland brand, so you know they're legit. And I just take 1 a day. Because, yeah. But I don't even know why I'm taking them because women don't poop. So, like, why am I even taking them actually? Actually, never thought about it. Wow. Wasting my time. Okay. Yes, we are covering the discourse right now. Now, let us close some of these tabs. Sorry, I got into the whole getting upset about capitalism thing. So can we rewatch the clip for anyone who's coming in just now or just as like a genuine refresher? General refresher?
No. Social battery wise, unless you're in fucking retail, it's very different. You're out of touch. I'm gonna die, dude. There's motherfuckers who are accountants in here and they're misunderstanding what I'm saying. A real job does not expend your social battery in the same fucking way as someone who did a sales job, a real job. Okay. I'm telling you, as someone who did both, like 9 hours of constant performance and people pleasing taps you out from social scenarios. After 9 hours of that, I could probably do fucking physical labor. It would not bother me, but I can't fucking do more social shit. That's my point. Like, there are obviously real jobs out there that are good comparisons. Service sector, people pleasing jobs would be very similar. Those are like, I think, customer service type shit. But like if you're an accountant or if you're even like in sales, my interactions with clients was limited, way more limited than like constantly having to do this for 9 hours with like a back and forth interaction for 9 hours. That's what like sucks your social battery and you just tap out after it. Yeah, think about it this way. Like, you give presentations for your job, right? Imagine giving a presentation for 9 hours straight. It's like, after a while, you would be like, I don't want to talk ever again.
That was on purpose. What was I talking about? Oh, see, now the one thing I will say, I understand the people who canceled me, and that is because Hassan actually is based in saying this, but I'm not, because we all know women speak professional Japanese, fluent Japanese, because the only thing women know how to do is talk. So my life is definitely easier than his, and I do think that that's important to point out. So that's fair. That is fair. This is actually very similar to when a professional athlete complains about injustice and people say you're rich, you have no right to complain. But it's like, it's not even necessarily like that it's not even necessarily that streamers are saying like, our jobs are so hard. It's harder than every job ever. That's not what people are saying. It's like, I would compare it a lot more to what I said earlier, where it's just someone telling their community about their experience with streaming. That's it. We're not like trying to campaign for anything. We're not saying that our life is so hard. We're just discussing the labor aspect of the work. That's it. And it's like, you think that content creators and streamers are not aware of the privilege that they have? Fucking Hassan himself, I think even in this tweet, And even again, myself, talk about how lucky we are and how privileged we are to be able to do the work that we do. And I say all the time that it is unbelievably unfair that I get to have an easier job than a fucking teacher. Are you fucking kidding me? But like, I don't know if it says that I'm like a commie or like a socialist or whatever. I think teachers should be getting paid for vacations. I think teachers should be getting paid 6 figures for the job that they do. I think that they should be getting paid overtime if they ever have to do after school lessons or tutoring or anything like that, like actual overtime pay. And I also don't think that they should have to work the hours that they work. I don't think it's fair to make teachers do all that shit. And that the facilities for so many public schools are so bad is bullshit. Have you guys, I mean, I was a teacher's pet because I was a nerd. And the teacher lounges fucking suck dick. They're dog shit. You would think that the people who have to fucking teach for a living, that literally are responsible for the next generation, shut the fuck up. Okay, I can't help it. All right, I'm sorry. What was I trying to say? You distracted me. I don't have any teachers, but is it bad? I kind of want to enroll in college again and take more classes. I kind of want to go get my master's, but not because I care about the master's, but because I love to go to school. I just want to take some classes and learn. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I put all my points into being a nerd, okay? Intelligence dumped. I didn't do any strength jump. Okay, I'm sorry. I would love to get a math master's. It would be so cool. But I would only be able to take like 1 or 2 classes a semester because taking too many classes is stressful. Denims is like, you forgot to assign homework. Stop it. I am tired of this besmirchment of my character. All right? The people who have been here know that I was a based teacher's pet. Okay. I loved the other students that made teachers not actually teach. And so I did everything I could to be there for those people because I love them. I love the guy who'd be like, hey, yo, teach, what you doing this weekend? And that's one of the yapping teachers. And she's like, I had a great weekend. Oh, you'll never believe it. I went on and then like 40 minutes later, she's like, wow, we didn't do any teaching. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna read the chapter. The next week we'll talk about it. I loved those people. I loved them so much, okay? And I did everything in my power to help those kids graduate. All right. Being a teacher's pet, I was allowed to grade homework and exams. And you better believe your ass, I made sure that those kids did not get left behind. I made sure that those kids did not have to take summer school. I thought it was unfair that they were 2 questions away from passing an exam. And so maybe, perhaps, when the teacher wasn't looking, I erased their answer on their Scantron and changed it to the correct one. Maybe. Just like maybe. Perhaps. I just thought it was stupid. Like, if the kid is not paying attention in your fucking trig class, they don't want to learn trig. You haven't shown them how to love that class yet. And it's not fair that they have to deal with summer school because they got 2 questions wrong. 2. And these were all really cool kids, like all of them. Like, they were not like shitty people. Why were you hand grading Scantrons? Listen, the school I went to was like not good. Okay. And they didn't actually have like Scantron readers. So I had to manually do it. Okay. Listen, man, look. I literally failed music theory because I got one question wrong on the final. See, isn't that fucked up? Doesn't that feel fucked up to you guys? Doesn't that feel like an injustice? That you are one question away from fucking failing a class or passing a class? No. No, that is fucked up. And I don't think that that's fair. And I think that those kids deserve to graduate and they deserve to have their high school diploma and be able to do whatever they need to do. And listen, you were also dozens of others beforehand off as well. What does that mean? What? Plus, guys, I was the epitome of like, work smarter, not harder. And so for the first like 3 months of school, I went so hard in the paint. I did all the homework. I got hundreds on every exam. I did all the extra credit. And then I'd be like, yeah. And I also didn't have any friends. So I would just like be like, hey, I would love to hang out during lunch. If you ever need any help or anything, I don't have anyone to sit with in the lunchroom, so I can help. And then usually after January, after winter break, I got really lazy and I stopped giving a fuck in the classes that I didn't like. And I just stopped doing the homework, but I continued to get myself good grades. But don't tell anyone. So if I'm doing it for myself, I feel like I should do it for the other kids. I just don't think it's fair. And it's like, I can get those grades if I wanted to, clearly. I just, Plus, it's not like any of those teachers were going to be responsible because it would have been my fault. And I was always clean with it. So we're good. We're good. So like I always like to say, if perhaps you were one of those kids who thought, how did I pass this test? You might have not passed it. You might have not. And someone just kind of you might have actually not done it. I just want you guys to know that. All right. Just to know. And you're right. You're right. When I did homework, I love turning in homework, but I am not a fucking class traitor. Okay. I would wait until everyone left the class. And then I would walk up to the teacher and I would be like, I just remembered I did my homework. And the teacher would be like, oh, I'll just collect the homework for everyone else tomorrow. Okay. Okay. So I am not a fucking class traitor. Why do students grade the test? Because teachers are overworked and they don't have the time or energy to do it themselves. You have to understand, I will never forget. There was this one kid who bullied me, so fuck that kid. I never made people fail classes, to be clear. That feels wrong. That feels morally wrong. But there was this one kid, and the teacher hated him because he was such a class clown. And he was also a bully. Motherfucker. And I will never forget, he was sitting next to me. He had his homework, his history homework, all written out. And the teacher came over and she's like, what is this? You didn't write enough for this one. You didn't write enough for this one. What does this even mean? And she gave him a D on the spot. And I was like, oh no, because I'm looking down at my homework. And this is about the point where I stopped giving a fuck about homework. And straight up, I just kind of took advantage of the fact that my handwriting was so bad and just made it look like I wrote stuff, but I didn't actually write anything for the homework. It was just a bunch of scribbles that kind of looked like words. And she looked at mine and gave me a check and then moved on. And I was like, oh, sucks to suck, man. Oh, that's crazy. Sucks to suck. Wow. Wow. How bad was your handwriting? It was very bad. I actually had to learn how to write well. Thoughts on the Trump sneakers? Those things are fucking hideous. The only people that are based are the people who are scalping them. Anyways, so you learned politics in grade school? Yeah. I mean, listen, I know why I didn't have friends. And I understand. I was insufferable. I was annoying. I was also a nerd. Okay. And I was also very competitive. And when you're a very competitive kid, you don't have friends. I was so fucking pissed. I was in like 3rd or 4th grade, and there was like a competition, like a little, like, it's just like a small little competition for some fucking candy or some shit. Nothing important, but I like to win. Okay. What's the point of getting 2nd place? You still lost. So it was, we had to like write down all of the, I think it's like homophones that we can think of. And we lost. Our team lost by like 1 or 2 words. And I was like, damn. And she sent me to the principal's office. For saying that. I couldn't even believe it. I couldn't even believe it. I was like, if you think that's bad, you should wait until you see what I'm thinking of you in my head. Actually, damn is also a homophone. Oh gosh. Anyways, yeah. So no, I was based. Okay, I'm not a fucking class traitor. I never want to be a class traitor. I hated class traitors. And the thing is, you have to understand, there were classes I didn't like. Hilariously enough, I really hated history classes. But there were classes that I didn't fucking like. And I hated the people who asked to turn in the homework. I hated those people. I hated them with all my passion. I was like, I will never be you. Ever. Doesn't matter how much of a fucking teacher's pet I am. I will never do this. This injustice you have done to the rest of us. No. Fuck you. You're the opposite of Gremlo. He told us that in school, his principal said he had a problem with authority talking back to teachers and not doing well and such. Yeah, no, I was like, no, I got along with teachers a lot. It's true. No, teachers loved me. Teachers loved me. But it's pretty easy to love like a kid that loves learning and has no friends. Because it's like, this poor kid. This poor kid. So like, they were pitying me. Yeah. All right. I don't know how I got off topic. My leg. I don't know how I got off topic. So let's get back on topic. So Hassan basically just said that like the emotional labor and the manual labor that comes with streaming is really difficult. And anyone here who has done emotional labor, and I stand by my stance that like food service, teaching, and retail are easily all more difficult than streaming. At the very least, because they come with none of the benefits. Like literally none of the benefits. However, I made the mistake. So this is why I got canceled. I made the mistake of tweeting about my personal experience with working. And now people think that I'm saying that streaming is the easiest job. Of course. Yes, of course. Of course. Now, I've talked about this story before. People don't believe me for whatever reason, but whatever. I don't really care if people believe me or not, because I've said this story a million times. Because I think it's a testament to the amount of work that goes into trying to stream and trying to be a successful streamer. But streaming is the most difficult job that I've had, personally. Personally, streaming is the most difficult job that I've had. And I would say that is because they've conveniently failed to register that you say it's in regards to the jobs that I've done. Yes, they just don't want to. The reason why, in my opinion, streaming is difficult to be clear, is because I try very hard with streaming because I am a fucking guys. I was a teacher's pet. I was a nerd. I got literally straight A's in my fucking classes. Okay, how do you think I'm a type A person. How do you think I do streaming? You think I'm really relaxed about streaming? No, I'm a fucking nerd about streaming too. I've always been a nerd. I will always be a nerd. And my dream is to go back to school and get a fucking master's in math and then potentially a PhD. Okay. The fact that everyone feels the need to invalidate people, like your opinion is mind-blowing, who's to say your opinion isn't valid? It's literally just my opinion. Quite literally, it's just my opinion of my work. And for me, streaming is a lot, it's a lot of work for me. Maybe other people think streaming is really easy, in which case I'm happy for you. But for me, I feel constantly guilty because I am not working. If I am ever relaxing and not working, I feel guilty. Because unlike a normal job, and this is the biggest thing that I miss about working normal jobs, you don't get to check out. The one thing that I loved about working normal jobs is when you get home, your time is yours. It doesn't matter what the fuck you're doing. You get to enjoy your fucking time. I get to come home and play video games for fucking 6 hours and not feel a shred of guilt. Currently, anytime I am not working, I feel guilty. It's like a constant just, ugh. Imagine streaming and working a full-time job. I mean, I was streaming when I first started streaming. I was streaming and going to school full-time. I was taking, was it 5 or 6 classes a semester? I think it was 6 classes a semester because I wanted to graduate as soon as possible. And if I took 6 semesters, I would graduate 1 semester early. And that was so much work. Oh God, I hated that. Hated that so much. But let's get back to what we were talking about. Not if you're on call. Yeah, but being on call is not like, in my opinion, being on call is not a normal job, right? So what was I trying to talk about? I saw Cosmopolitics mention she works 9 to 5 and streams full time. Lots of folks are forgetting to mention those people. It's not true for all jobs, but I get the point you're making. Yeah, of course, 100%. So I missed at the end of work when I was an electrician. Now I'm a salary R&D biologist and subject matter expert, so I'm always on call. Being on call sucks, right? So this is, I don't have to say it, but I'm just going to say it again, just in case. Streaming is not the most difficult job out there. Streaming is just the most difficult job that I have had to do. Okay? I feel very lucky that I've never worked as a teacher. I feel very lucky that I've never had to work as a server. And I feel very lucky that I've never had to work at like a fucking Macy's before. In my opinion, those jobs are easily more difficult. Easily. And the saddest thing about why me complaining about this is really annoying. I do streaming because I like the creative aspects of streaming. That's what I like about streaming, and that's why I do it, because I like that aspect. If I quit streaming today, started working for an accounting firm, got my CPA, was promoted or opened my own firm, I would make more money. I think I would make the same amount of money if I quit right now and worked an accounting job. And I would work way less hours. Way less hours. But I don't because I like doing streaming. I have fun doing it. And this is another thing that people are failing to remember. Just because something is taxing doesn't mean it's not fulfilling and doesn't mean it's not fun. Don't be an accountant, kids. Let me see if I can pull it up. There was someone that replied with this, and it was just like such a good tweet. I want to see if I can find it. Oh man. So, someone tweeted it on my alt. I can't find it. And I'm struggling to find it, but someone brought that up. I think what could make streaming more difficult in customer service is much more personal, putting yourself out there as more vulnerable position. Sure, yeah. I disagreed with what Hassan said because I've worked on roofs and hard construction when you have to pay attention or someone can get hurt. It's hard, but I understand what he was trying to mention. What he was trying to say, not to mention the pay sucks. Oh, of course. Of course. Of course. Sorry, I got like lost in the sauce for a second. I want to find this tweet because it was actually a really, really good tweet. Here, this one. Also, doing a taxing job doesn't mean it's not fun. I was a sailing coach. I was pulling down 400-pound boats up and down ramps on a steep beach in the heat and dealing with 8-year-old kids all day trying to keep them safe in a sport they could easily get concussions doing if they lost focus. It was an incredibly taxing job. I was sometimes working 13-hour days and I would die when I would get home. It was the most draining job I've ever done, but it was also the most fun because it was basically just playing with the kids all in the sun all day and sharing my hobby with them. And this is something that people don't recognize. I have bad days because of Twitch and I don't even stream. Yes. And this is something that like, I wish I could like, just keep this on the screen the entire time for this entire conversation. Streaming is both the most difficult and taxing job that I've had, but it is also the most fun job that I've had. It can be both. It's not like, I don't think that this is like I don't think this is a complicated idea. There are people that love their work so much. They work like 80-hour works. Actually, I have a friend of mine. It's like a friend of a friend. And they work, I think in like architecture or something. And they work 12 hours a day, straight up. They're super overworked, but they love what they do so much. They don't even give a fuck that they're being exploited. And like friends have told them, hey, you should really ask for better pay. You should really try and get overtime. You should check out when you want to check out. And they're like, you don't understand. I love doing it. I know I'm getting fucked. I know, but I love doing it. I might be tired every day, but again, I just love the field. It's fun for me. So that's kind of what I'm describing for me. It's like, this might be tiring. It might be exhausting in a lot of ways, but it's also fun. I also enjoy it. The parts of it that I enjoy, I really enjoy. So I think that sort of goes over. I want to kind of like put my points into like a bulletin because I think it would be good. So like 1, jobs can be taxing and fulfilling. Fulfilling. What's the argument for Gamba streamers and their work ethic? Yeah. Okay. 2, streaming is not the hardest job. I don't know why people think I said this, but I did not say this. Streaming is not the hardest job. I've said multiple times on my stream and on my Twitter that in my opinion, the hardest job is teaching. Like for the pay and the hours and the emotional labor that you have to deal with, and I think it's mostly just because I was friends with so many teachers growing up that I saw their life firsthand. And they had it hard. They had it rough. And the sad thing is, all those people went into it because they enjoy teaching, because they want to teach. And which brings me to my next point. Physical labor cannot be compared to emotional or mental labor. I just think that they are two different areas. They're just they do two different things. It's just too drastic and too big of a difference. So I don't even think that like when I'm talking about streaming being the most difficult job that I've done, I'm only talking about mental tasks. That's it. That's all I'm talking about. I don't think it even makes sense to compare like someone who does construction to someone who does like an office job. I don't think that you can compare those things. You guys understand what I'm talking about? When I've done physical labor, I was fine socializing after other non-physical jobs. I just want complete silence after work. Well, I'm going to take the least charitable take and get really mad at the person on the internet because I don't go to therapy. Yeah. I don't think it makes sense to even try and compare what a factory worker has to do versus what a therapist has to do. Like, these are such different fields. Trying to compare them is stupid. It's just dumb. And just from my I guess like friends and other people that have typed about this, the one nice thing about physical labor, I will say, is that I've seen a lot of people talk about this. If this doesn't apply to you, it's fine. I'm not saying that it has to or anything like that. It sounds like really nice to be able to go do a physical labor job and then afterwards you get to shoot the shit with your friends and go to a bar or like go bowling or something. That sounds sick. Whereas like if you do a mental job, the idea of going to socialize after work is a nightmare. The idea of like doing retail for 8 hours and then going to a bar with friends for a couple hours, it sounds like torture. It's like, no, I'm done talking for the day. I want to go home and sleep. I don't want to do anything else. Text me, you can't stop. So I don't even think like it's like apples and oranges. I'm not even going to compare them. Maybe God himself can come down to this earth and say physical jobs are more demanding than mental jobs. I'm not going to do that. If you want to do that, you can do that. I'm not going to stop you. Do whatever you want. I just don't think it's worth comparing them. Physical jobs are just as important to society as mental jobs are. I'm sorry, teachers are just as important to regulating society as electricians are. We need both of them, and they're demanding in different ways. And actually, the one thing I talk about all the time on stream, because I try to give some advice if I can, when I can. And I do think that if you have your high school diploma and you just graduated, you should go into one of three things. If we're talking purely selfish, purely about your future, you should either go to college, go to trade school, or join the military. Because those three things, one of those three things will set you up for success in your life almost assuredly. And the reason I bring up trade school, obviously join the military is like, it's rooted in a bunch of other things, which is why I described it as being selfish. But as someone who knows people who have worked in the military and joined the military, they joined as a way to escape poverty. They knew that they weren't going to do well in college. They knew that they didn't want to go to trade school. They joined the military. It gave them a schedule. It gave them purpose. They got the military to pay for medical bills. They got the military to pay for, or the government to pay for schooling for when they eventually did want to go back to school at like 27 or 28 or whatever. And so I do think if you are, and this goes back to sort of the Michael Brooks, be kind to people, be brutal to systems, or be harsh on systems. I don't judge people who've joined the military to escape poverty. I don't think that it's fair to do that. I don't think it's fair to tell people, no, you should continue to live in poverty. And I stand by what Michael Brooks said. Now, it's not going to be perfect advice for everyone, obviously, but I do think that having a plan when you leave high school is important, and you need to do something because high school diplomas are now worth nothing anymore in this country. Now you either need to have gone to some type of school or needed to have joined the military, which sucks. But can we still make fun of the people who make the military their whole personality? Oh, of course. Are you kidding me? Those people suck. No, dude. If you have a fucking... No. If you have some bumper stickers on your car about how happy you are to have served in your military and how you love to fight for freedoms and everything like that, please, may God save your soul, because I am going to do nothing but roast you for the next 20 years. Military TikTok? Yeah. No. Military preys on poor people? Yep. Yeah. This is neither here nor there. Just wanted to describe the paths that I think people should take. Where was I going with this? Wait. Guys, you made me forget. Grr. Oh, trade school. The reason why I tell people trade school is a very valid route to take is because you are almost certain to get a job after trade school. Like, we're always going to need electricians. We're always going to need construction workers. We're always going to need plumbers. We're always going to need that physical labor. It's not like going to disappear. We need that in society. And if that's something that you think you can do, and if that's something that you think you would be better at than going to college, and you don't know what the fuck you would go to college for, yeah, go to trade school, please. And I am also one of the biggest proponents of the fact that I think people who go to trade school and people who do trade jobs should be able to retire earlier, because the physical taxation and the physical tax that it takes on your body, the toll it takes on your body, should allow you to retire sooner, because you can continue to do mental labor into your 70s or 80s. You cannot do physical labor for your whole life. You fucking cannot. Like, especially if you're exposed to hazardous conditions. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if this is the right position or not. I'm just saying my opinion. I think people should be able to retire at like 60 if they do trade work. If you do like construction or plumbing, or you're an electrician or a carpenter, you should be able to retire at like 60. I might even say like 55 or 50. Because it's a lot of physical labor on your body. And human bodies are not meant to do that much physical labor. So I just needed to mention that because I need people to understand. Isn't retirement at 60? I mean, retirement is more at like 65, and they want to push Social Security to like 70, so closer to 70. I mean, there are people who are 70 who are still working because they have to. No retirement for anyone. Work till you die. Yeah. In my union, we had a lot of guys that passed like 2 years after retiring. That's fucked up, man. That's fucked up. Anyways, yeah, I just need people to understand, like, I am at the point where I think trade schools are based. I think people should join trade schools. But I also think that people who work physical jobs should retire sooner than other people. Or be given an opportunity to work in other fields. Like that there is some plan at the end of your labor that can take you into a much easier physical job that still requires mental effort. That like there's an easy path. Like, oh, you've done like 20 years of physical labor. Okay, well, if you want, you can do like, you can work as like an instructor. Or you can work as like someone who teaches in trade school. Or someone who fucking, I don't know, fucking call center or some shit. Because your body is just, I don't think your body's supposed to do hard manual labor, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, for fucking 40 years. So this doesn't make sense on this document, but I also want to say, I think trade school is based and physical laborers should be able to retire at 50. Okay. I will never, ever, 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 ever say that streaming is easier than a physical job. It does not make sense to compare the two. Those two do not make any sense to compare. It just doesn't make any sense. It sounds stupid to do so. Labor is labor, and I care about laborers. It's not complicated. What's harder, chess or basketball? Yeah, like, great example, honestly. Honestly, like, you would be an idiot to say, like, oh, yeah, well, NBA players work harder than, like, the top, like, grandmasters. It's like, what? No, what? No, they work equally as hard, but they're just different types of working. What? That's stupid. Trade schools? How are we going to move them around? Chat, ban that guy. You can ban him. Yeah, you can ban them. Yeah. Okay, next. I never said streaming is the hardest job. I said streaming is the hardest job I have had. Very important distinction. I would say very important distinction. I'm sure there are lots of jobs that I have not had that I would think are more difficult. I'm sure that that's the case. Hassan didn't say this. I didn't say this. It would be stupid to say that. You can't make a judgment unless you, like, you cannot say what is the hardest job unless you've worked almost all of them. Too bad the people who cry the loudest can't decipher context clues. Yeah, it's fucking. Do people got mad at Sandwich too? No, not Sandwich. No. And, like, honestly, I don't feel too bad because the people who are upset at me are all fucking morons, and I don't respect their opinions anyways. So I don't really care, and I know that, how do I say this without sounding like a conceited cunt? I know I'm based. Because A, I'm only talking about my personal opinion. That's it. I'm only talking about my experience. I can't be wrong about my own experience. That doesn't even make any sense. That would be like me telling you, oh yeah, well, I know you prefer Subway to Jersey Mike's, but you don't actually prefer Subway to Jersey Mike's. Actually, Jersey Mike's is better. It's like, I wasn't saying anything. I was just saying that that's my opinion. Actually, just my opinion. That's literally just my opinion. I don't understand. Well, it is better? Okay, but it is. Okay, but it is. Okay. No. I was a barber for 8 years and I stood for 8 hours a day with no lunch breaks, no benefits during COVID. I still think about how easy it would have been to go back to that. I empathize why people think streaming is easy. I say the same thing.
But have you thought about poor Mike 123349 on Twitter who has to move pipes while covered in oil and mud? Ha. Also fuck Nicholas Deore, whatever the fuck his name is.
Yes. Oh, hi, Julius. Sorry, let me reread this Sandwich tweet from the beginning. I was a barber for 8 years and I stood for 8 hours a day with no lunch breaks, no benefits during COVID. I still think about how easy it would have been to go back to that. I empathize why people think streaming is easy. I would say the same thing from the outside, but it's simply not true. It ain't easy, but it's not going to be as tough as a real-world job. Simple as that, LMAO. Define a real-world job real fast. A job out in the real world, interacting with people face-to-face. Oh, true. Game devs and software engineers and telecustomer service workers and everyone who works from home punching the ceiling right now. Oh my bad, I forgot people work from home, but they still have harder jobs than streaming. You're so dumb. How? How are people this stupid? How can you get proven wrong immediately and then still think you're right? Oh no, not standing for 8 hours. That's so hard. I can tell this is in response to your personal experience in the same field and not because you're taking a social media break in between jerking off to your Pokemon cards. Stick to the content creating. Soft ass crybaby. Wait, she's kind of eating. Wait, she's eating. Wait, she's actually eating. I feel like people see streaming as playing video games or sitting around watching stuff. I don't think people can take into account how much it can affect your social life and how easily you get creative burnout. Okay, props to Sandwich though, because she did explain this better than I think anyone else did, admittedly. Hard agree, streaming is more mentally difficult than when I was getting my biology degree while waitressing at a bar and working in a research lab. There's so many things that make it worth it, but I've had to work so much harder to try and pave a space for myself. So out of touch with reality. L. Christ. Okay, so this brings us to Sam is cool, yeah. To be clear, guys, me and Sam follow each other. I know it says that we don't, but I'm on my alt account. Please recognize that I do have the Sam follow. She does think that I'm cool, or at the very least, she's following me. Okay, so just I need you guys to know that. Okay, I have friends. Okay, she invited me to her birthday, so just need you guys to know I'm not a loser. Okay, I'm cool. Moving on, which brings us to dun 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 my cancellation. I didn't even know about this until just now, or like today, but I made a tweet talking about my experience with streaming versus other jobs. And the job I had before streaming was door-to-door sales. That was the job I had right before streaming. The job I had before that was real estate. That job was easy as hell. But yeah, I did a door-to-door sales. It was amazing. I loved it so much. Yeah. And for anyone who's done door-to-door sales, how'd you nerd your way through school just to do sales after? It was while I was going to school. I appreciate the job experience though, and it helped a lot with my social anxiety. What did I sell? Garbage, obviously, because that's all door-to-door salespeople sell. Garbage. Door-to-door salespeople do not have a wage. They basically operate entirely on commission. There were like straight up weeks where like my paycheck was like $5. Not literally $5, but it was like nothing. Because I am not good at selling things. As you can tell by the fact that I have like one of the lowest sub counts of anyone I know ever. And it's because I am not good at selling things at all. I'm not good at it, okay? Door-to-door sales sucks. It sucks real bad. Real bad. And because I was so bad at it, I had to...
Hello, Denims here. Please subscribe with Prime Asterisk Slam Store.
I can't even sell at the top of the hour ad break, dude, okay? Bad train wreck. Thank you for the 5 gift subs. Thank you for the pity subs, guys. Thank you. JFK Rowling, thank you for the 5 gifts. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Okay. I appreciate it. What was I saying? Marco, thank you for the Prime. Thank you. So because I was so bad at it, I had to spend more hours working to make any money at all. Oh, Mike Boy, sorry. Thank you for subbing. Kurt, thank you for the 33 months. Lock Madness, thank you for the 5.
You do a great job, honestly. No pity sub.
King, thank you for the 8 months. Thank you, guys. I will read the rest of the subs later. Thank you, guys. I'm going to finish my point. I'm going to do it. So because I was so bad at it, I had to spend more hours working to make the same wage as other people made. And I, at one point, because our like, for anyone who's worked in these jobs, they're all like fucking Ponzi scheme garbage. And your employer basically says just work until you're fucking tired. And straight up, I was working 12 hours. It was 12-hour shifts. Like I said earlier, I was still going to school for my degree. I got that job as a way to pay for my degree because I grew up really poor. Why'd you quit your real estate job for that? Because I was also working 12 hours on that job because I don't know how to fucking stand up for myself. Okay? Because I was just a wee fucking 20-year-old who didn't know how to fucking stand up for herself. So. Z, thank you for the 3-month gift sub. Thank you. Krishna, thank you so much for the tier 1. Thank you. Okay. So I worked these fucking monstrous 12-hour shifts. And I was like, you know what? It's fine. I have a good manager. Like, my manager was really chill. And all my coworkers were really chill. There was one coworker I didn't like. But I was like, whatever. And I was fine with it. I was like, whatever. I can do this. It's easy. It's like, it's easy for me to just show up, do the job, instead of going and looking for a new job. I don't want to fucking do that. And I was so happy too, because the original office, it was only like a 20-minute ride there. It was like a 20-minute bus ride. I grew up in New York. It was a 20-minute bus ride to go to the office. And then we went to the office, we had our meetings, and then we would go do our fucking door-to-door sales. And then, for whatever reason, I know the reasons, because the rent was cheaper. My manager, my boss, was like, well, we're not going to rent this office space anymore because it's too expensive to rent. So we're renting farther out. And my 20-minute commute went from a 20-minute bus ride there, 20-minute bus ride back, to a 2-hour bus and train ride there and a 2-hour bus and train ride back. It was one bus to a train to another bus. And then I got there. And this is why I was able to do this job. It's because I was able to like sleep through some of this. That was the only thing that had kept me going. I was in like the worst state I've ever been in my life at that point. Lock Mattis, thank you for the gift sub. Like literally the worst. I like had so much stress acne. I gained so much weight. I was like in shambles. Like I always looked exhausted. Like I would almost fall asleep on the job. And wait, there was someone. When I was waitress, my paychecks would come out to nothing after tax, as they handed the paychecks that literally said 0 cents or a few cents if you were lucky. So I feel you. Oh yeah, I had paychecks that literally had like $150 on them because I just was not good at selling things. And so, yeah, I went from a nice 40-minute commute, which is not bad, to a 4-hour commute, which is great. Show one paycheck. I don't have to show fucking bullshit to you because I don't give a fuck if you think I'm lying or not, you idiot. I'm talking to my community, and the only people I care about believing me are the people who are already here. I don't have to prove anything to you fucking losers. So I worked this job, if I'm not mistaken, I worked this job, I believe, Monday through Thursday. It's been a long time. It's been fucking 5 years. Also, why would I show you my pay stub? It has all my information on it. It literally has all of my information on it. It has my fucking social security number and my fucking full name and my address. Are you crazy? Anyways, so I worked that job Monday through Thursday, and I went to school Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I don't know if people don't have this in other states or what. But my university had Saturday and Sunday classes, and I preferred Saturday and Sunday classes because it was usually a 3 or 4 hour class instead of the usual 1 hour class. So I believe I had and they were only once a week. Saturday, Sunday classes, you only have to show up once a week, whereas most college courses, you usually have to show up twice a week. So if you're taking like Econ 101, you have to go like Monday and Wednesday. But if you were taking a Saturday class for Econ 101, you only have to show up 3 hours on Saturday. So I did like 2 classes on Saturday, 2 classes on Sunday, and then I probably had like a class or 2 on Friday as well. And that was manageable for me. And I loved it because I would go to school. You have to remember, Chad, I grew up very poor. I didn't even have my own room growing up. I literally did not have a room. I just slept on the couch. And so I loved Saturday, Sunday classes because I would just show up, pay attention in class, and then go straight from class to the library. And then I would just do all of the studying and homework, and then I would go home and sleep. So it worked like really well for my schedule. It was great. Poggers. I still stand by the fact that I love Saturday, Sunday classes. They're great. Wait, I want to read something out. Hold up. I'm 27. I've been working 10 plus years now. I've done everything from fast food, groundskeeping, working at Target, working at dispensary, serving. And yet I don't feel like you saying streaming is a difficult job takes anything away from my personal work experiences. Weird how that works. Yeah. And that's not because I'm saying that you guys don't have hard jobs. I'm sure most of you in here probably do have hard jobs. I would never take away from that. Labor is still labor. The other reason the Saturday, Sunday classes exist, obviously, as some people know, is because people who have families, aka like single moms or even like married moms that want to go back to school, they're usually busy Monday through Friday, or they have a work job Monday through Friday, and then they go to school on Saturday or Sunday. So, what was I talking about? Right. So that's how I maintain that schedule. That is what I did. And then after doing that for like 2 or 3 months, just to pay for my classes, because that's the only reason I got that job in the first place was because I needed a way to pay for classes because I grew up too poor to have my parents pay for school. And as soon as I had enough money to pay for those classes, for the current semester I was in and the next semester, I quit because I hated it. And I only took that job to do that. That's it. And even with that job was still easier than streaming for me. Maybe other people don't think the same thing, but for me, that was easier. And the reason being that I think about all of the things that come with streaming that don't come with working a normal real job, and they all really stack up on top of each other. So, first of all, this is another, I don't know why people think I'm like some privileged white lady. I'm not sure what's up with that. But when I moved to LA, I moved here and I wanted to make streaming work. I initially was like, I'll just do a streaming part-time while I finish school, but whatever, like if it works, it works. And when I started streaming, I moved to an apartment that had 10 minutes of hot water because the water tank was so small. It had a permanent roach infestation. The roof would leak. The bedroom would get, because it's like 600 square feet. It was like, there was like a tiny little bedroom, and then there was like the living room kitchen area. But the air conditioner, it was an AC unit. It was in the living room area. And it never made the bedroom cold. So I had to move my bedroom out into the living room and move my living room into the bedroom. So I would stream in like 90-degree weather. Because that was the only place I could afford in LA. And the worst part was I couldn't really cook because I guess like the roaches found a home behind my oven. And if I turned on the oven, all the roaches would like run out from behind the oven and they would like scatter. And it was so terrible. I stopped turning the oven on because I got tired of it. That, and if I turned the oven on, the entire apartment would be like 90 something degrees and wouldn't cool down for like a couple hours. The heating also didn't work in that unit. So I had to buy like a little space heater. And that was the only thing that worked. And I did that while trying to maintain, which I did for a while, 7 days a week. You can check my stream stats on this. Yeah, this was the apartment I had when I came back from hiatus in 2021. Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm. Turn the oven on, open the door, vibe with the roaches. I don't want to do that. No, I'm good. And before that, I was like living at home in a tiny New York apartment with no room. I didn't have like a workspace. I didn't have a bed. I didn't have like, I had like a closet for my stuff, but it was like really tiny. And so like for me, it was like a step up because I was like, wow, I have my own space. Yeah, all this stuff sucks, but at least I have my own space. And so trust when I say right now, where I am now in my life, where I get actual AC, there's no roaches in my apartment. I get to have a cat. I am fully aware of the privilege. All right? I'm fully aware. We did it. We made it, guys. I can like go out to dinner sometimes when I want to. I can buy food that normally I wouldn't buy because it's too expensive, like these little wafers. I get to buy nice shoes. It's amazing. It's so amazing. So trust when I say I'm fully aware of the privilege that I have. And that is because I did not have any. But to be fair, even in all the conditions I experienced, there have been people that have had it worse than I have. At the very least, I will say I'm very privileged that I've never had to experience homelessness. And that is why I think the most important thing in life is to remember that however hard you have it, someone has it harder. Because I think greed is like the enemy of happiness. And I think it is nice to be able to sit down and look at all the things you have and appreciate all the things that you have. And know that not everyone is as fortunate. And you should, even if you don't have much, you should appreciate what you do have. And because I had all of these bad circumstances, I felt like I had to make streaming work. Like I was like, I have to do this. I got my degree, which I have, and I have it hung up, so I get to look at it every day. So I get to be happy about it. But it's why I worked so hard on streaming and why like I know how hard streaming can be. Show it. It has all my information on it. I'm not going to show it. This is the kind of story that you tell on streams with other streamers to better contextualize the economic constraints and how close they are to anyone's experience watching today. Certain bad faith actors want to portray streamers as clueless and privileged, but these realistic stories ground away that intentional smear, I feel. I mean, yeah, like, I don't... Listen, I think it's just that it's easy to see people where they are and think that they've been there their whole life. Like, we watched that Sweet Anita interview with Anthony Padilla. Did anyone think that she was living in fucking trees? No, I didn't. I didn't know that. That she was like homeless for a decent period of time. I didn't know that. And it's just because you can't know what someone's life is like until you fucking hear about it or listen to them. Did you fall out of a coconut tree? Stop. And so like going on the topic, this is like the last part of this topic, and then we will get into the infamous tweet. On the last topic of this, the reason why I say that streaming has been the hardest job that I've done is because it requires so much out of you. Like, you have to be available on stream. Like, you have to be 110% every stream. And for anyone here who's worked retail, you know when you have bad news that hits you, or you're having a bad day, like maybe you're in a breakup, or like maybe a friend doesn't want to talk to you, or I don't know, maybe you lost a pet or something. You still have to show up to work and still give the full energy. And sometimes you don't have that energy and you have to pretend like you have it and fake it. And it's the same thing with streaming. Like, there's a reason I know everybody like memes about it, but there's a reason I stream in the mornings, and it's because I cannot have anything impact my fucking mood before I stream. Because if I stream and there's even anything wrong that happened before, my mental is so bad. When I was streaming in the first place that I lived in here in LA, the internet would go out because I had fucking Spectrum, dog shit ass company, and I had constant power outages in my block, and I would literally cry because I would have like a day where I was getting like viewership that I hadn't got before, and I was like so proud of myself. I'd worked so hard, and then the stream would crash, and I would sob for like an hour, and I would just be like, like I would feel so defeated, and it would ruin my whole day, like straight up. Because this is back when I just had like a few hundred viewers, and it was like every stream mattered so much. Hassan lost me until he said it's like doing a presentation for 9 hours, and then it made sense what he was trying to say, and I agree. Yeah. The best example on the 9 hours thing, by the way, really quick. A friend of mine who works, a close friend of mine who works in like computer science, engineer, software, something, developers or something. They went from a job where they kind of didn't have to work that much to a job where they have like 3-hour meetings every day. And they're like, I am going to jump off of a bridge if I have to show up to any more 3-hour meetings. I have to just like sit there at my computer and listen and be ready the entire time and have my brain be on the whole time. Imagine a 9-hour meeting. I could not do it. And that's why I don't stream for fucking 9 hours. As a system engineer, it's fucking awful. Yeah. Uh-huh. And I think that is really like just the best way I can explain it. How does one live with the guilt of being fortunate and lucky enough in life? I joined a startup that's done extremely well. Have been there for at least 10 years. Grew the company. I often see my peers struggle financially. It kills me. I mean, the way that I see it is like, I just try to help people that I can. Like a friend of mine right now is like financially struggling for a variety of reasons. And I'm just like, I know what she's going through, and I just try and help whenever I can, wherever I can. So like, there's definitely stuff that, for example, I have that I want to sell like on fucking Facebook Marketplace or some shit. But like, I know that she's struggling so much. It's like, hey, you could just have this. This camera lens, I was going to sell it. Don't worry about it. You can just have it. Or maybe I bought like some cosplays or something and I don't wear them anymore. It's like, hey, you want these? You can have these. Like just being there, I just try my best to be there and help whenever I can. And they want to do content, and I was telling them about content, and I'm trying to like give them like a crash course on streaming and stuff. And they watched one of my streams because I stream in the morning, so they never catch them. And they watched one and they sent me a text like, I want to read it out actually. Their text made me laugh so hard. They said, bro, I'm watching your stream right now. Wow, no wonder you're tired after stream. You are working. And it's because you're on. You're at 110%. So your mood has to be perfect, okay? You can never let any harassment get to you. It's very funny and ironic that a bunch of people are harassing Hassan and myself. Like further explaining why streaming is a difficult job. It's because it doesn't matter what you say. There's thousands of people that are ready to fight with you and call you a bunch of things that are not true and just harass you. And you have to pretend like you are not allowed to care. You are not. And that's why I don't care. I'm like, I refuse to let you affect my mood for even 2 seconds. You don't deserve to affect my mood. No. And that's also like in terms of content creation. I think there's a misunderstanding about like what streaming is. And this is actually a very common conversation that I think happens. I don't think people understand that like streaming is not get on and play video games. And then get off. That's not what it is. If you do that, your stream is probably really boring. I don't mean to be an asshole, but if you get on and stream and say very little and be like, oh, I just got a triple kill, and do that for 6 hours, you are never going to get any viewers ever. You have to be entertaining. I worked radio. Death threats are part of the course. So yeah, right on. Don't worry. They are the audience. They can listen and participate, but they are the audience. It takes me 3 hours of prep for everyone on air. Yeah. They just think that being a streamer is as easy as watching a stream. And then there's like stream planning, for example, excuse me. Like I try to plan streams. I don't get on and just have no idea what the fuck I'm going to do. I don't just get on and be like, okay, what are we reacting to? Let's go. No, there's a reason every single day there is new stuff in my title every day. And that's because I prepare stories for the stream because I want to have a show, like a produced show. And I want to be able to have a show where it's like, okay, today we're going to talk about this and talk about this and talk about this and this and this. And then once I'm done with all that, it's like, okay, well, I'm going to head off. I feel like I finished everything that I prepared. And now I feel like if I keep streaming, which is why I don't stream that much. Now when I finish streaming, when I finish covering all the topics, I feel like the stream quality is like so reduced that I don't want to do it anymore. Cause then I'm just kind of like sitting there talking to like no one, like about nothing and just waiting to see what happens. It's not good. There's homework. At the very least for my stream, there's homework. And I want to get on stream only after I've done my homework and I've prepared an interesting stream. And then that's just like one aspect. So there's like the being on 110%, 100. Oh, and this is the other thing. You guys ever misspeak in front of friends? You just say the wrong words in the wrong order. And everyone's just like, wait, what did you mean by that? And you clarify and they're like, oh, okay, good. You are not allowed to do that ever as a streamer. Because the second you do, everyone is going to clip it and nobody gives a fuck what you actually meant. This is a great example of that. This is a perfect example. You just like have to be there 100% and you're not allowed to make any mistakes ever. Pokimane and the cookies and her saying like, if you're just a broke boy, just say so. And then getting harassed so fucking much. Like, she was just not supposed to say that. And she was supposed to know she was not supposed to say that. So the entire time you just want to make sure, like, I'm not saying something that's going to get me fucking clip-jimped, right? Okay, and every sentence you say, you have to remember to make sure that that sentence is perfect. America deserved 9/11 is a fine example. Yeah, and how many people thought that that meant Americans deserved 9/11? Also, when you're smaller and only a few people follow you, you have to put in hella hours and you're doing another job to pay bills. You burn the candle at both ends. 99% of streamers get nothing and nowhere. Yeah. Yeah. What was I saying? Oh, okay. So you have to be on 100%, not make any mistakes. You have to do homework to prepare what you want to do and what you want to stream that day. There's a lot of like, in general, constant work that goes into streams. So working on your lighting, working on your camera, working on your audio, working on your set, working on your PC. All of that stuff comes with the job, which that is stuff where normally, like if you do radio or you do like television or like a news anchor, you don't worry about audio, you don't worry about lighting, you don't worry about cameras. But when you do streaming, you do it yourself. You also have to have constant motivation to keep working. The number of days I wake up and I'm like, because I know that I can cancel stream whenever I want because I'm self-employed, I have to have so much willpower and be like, no, I have to keep my schedule. The temptation to not stream today is so strong, but you have to do it. Wasting 4 hours because you thought your audio was echoing, but in reality you had 2 feeds going into OBS and didn't know, but now you still have everything else to do? Yeah. Yes. The temptation? Yeah. And anyone here who's done like self-employment, you know what I'm talking about. Like committing time when you don't want to. And I've known people who like, I've seen them try and do content and they run into the problem where they just cancel stream every time. Like, I know people who like, anyone who comes to me, any of my friends who come to me and they ask me for advice or help or whatever, I try my best to help them because I want to see my friends succeed. And the number of friends I have that like, I will try my best to help as in any way I can. And I tell them like, my DMs are always open. I will try and respond whenever I can. And they do it consistently for 2 months. And then after that, they start streaming like 3 times a month. And it's because it is so easy. It's so easy to be like, it's okay. I'll just cancel stream today. It's okay. I'll just cancel stream today. When you have a real job, you have to show up or your manager is going to yell at you. To find that internal motivation and force yourself and keep yourself accountable when you're growing. Because when you're established, it's easy. But when you're growing and you only have like 10 viewers, it is so hard to motivate yourself knowing it's like, I'm going to get on stream and stream to 10 viewers again. Fucking, why would I do that? So like that type of accountability it's so hard. And I'm saying it's one of those things where you won't know it until you know it. If anyone is like maybe struggling with the concept, think about going to the gym. How many people in here have tried their fucking hardest for years? For years to maintain a gym schedule. And it's still so hard. It's like, no, from now on, I'm going to gym every day at 8 a.m. And then like, you're like, whatever, I just don't have to go today. I just don't have it. And then 6 months go by and you've went to the gym 4 times. And you're like, ah, how does this keep happening? How? Just go to the gym. It's so easy. And it's the same thing. It's the same thing for streaming. It's like you have to force yourself, even when you know that no one else is going to hold you accountable, you have to force yourself. I get addicted to supplements and pre-workouts every time. I go from 3 days a week to 6 and back and forth. Yeah. TBH, so much of the time I feel like I don't want to stream, but at the same time I like streaming and know that if I decide I'm going to take a break, I probably won't come back. Yeah. How long did Jinxie stream to 5 viewers? Like years? He streamed to 5 viewers for like 2 years. Okay. So holding yourself accountable is honestly, it's when you have no viewers, it is so hard to hold yourself accountable and do this thing that makes no money and brings you no joy. Especially if you're still doing other stuff. Where when I started, I was still streaming, I was still going to school full time. I had 6 classes and I was still trying to maintain like a full-time stream schedule. And I felt like I had to stream. Mostly because like I also needed the money so I could keep living as a person. Well, you got canceled for what? Big Haas fan, but I didn't hear about shit. The same thing, just talking about how, yeah, streaming has been the most difficult job that I've done. And then the worst part for me, the worst part of streaming is the constant guilt. The constant guilt that all of the time that I spend not working, I should be spending working. Like, I could be posting on social media. I could be doing marketing stuff. I could be going to a social event to network. I could be streaming right now. I could be working on my stream. There's always stuff to do. Always. And it just eats at you. It's like you work this job 24/7 and you have to work it 24/7 because sometimes opportunities will provide themselves and you have to take it immediately. Like I will never forget I had like the opportunity to go on someone's stream, and if I hadn't been at my computer 24/7, I would have missed it. I would have missed the opportunity. Like I had an hour to respond and luckily I did respond. But if I hadn't, I would have missed it. It would have been gone. How do you get better, like, read and research on the pull of demand? What do you mean? But also, I think I think this is the last part, and then we'll move on from there. This is the last part of streaming that I wanted to talk about. And you guys are smart enough to know that this is not the case, but it is not just turn on your computer and then put on some fucking videos, or turn on your computer and what is it called? Fucking play video games. It's not that easy. Way too spooky. Thank you for the tier 1. Actually, there was a time where I thought that that's all I had to do. And I just put on like a video and I played it and I didn't react that much. And my viewership had never been bad. It had never been that bad before. And then I started putting more time and more effort. And as I started putting in more time and more effort into like making content where I didn't just rely on a video that was playing, I got more viewers. Because you're putting in more work, you're going to get more payout, right? And your stream is not just like you existing. It is you, for me anyways, my stream is not just me existing. It is me putting a show on. So I can be entertaining, so I can have work that I am proud of and that I like. And that like content that I would watch. And that is also why when I stream, and I implore anyone who wants to stream to do this. Someone gave me this advice and I have never looked back on it. Put a stream on for anyone who listens to streams in the background. Like maybe you play video games and you listen to streams. What I like to do, I hate doing it, but what I do is I will play some RimWorld and I'll put on a VOD of mine that I don't remember. Like a VOD from a couple days ago where I basically don't remember anything that I streamed. And I watch myself passively. And I take notes. And I actively work on all of the things that are bad. And I hate listening to myself. I hate looking at myself. Okay? Not fun. Hate it. Hate it so much. But it's what I have to do to improve. Like, and I mean, even if I go back and watch my old streams, the difference is huge. It's huge. Are you doing it right now? Well, it's not possible for me to do it right now. No, the only thing I do when I'm streaming is stream. I don't do anything else. I don't use my phone. I don't even eat, really. Like, I try to not leave my seat when I stream. And I, like, criticize myself. I, like, make notes on everything. It's like, I made too many jokes about this stupid thing. Why did I start screaming at this point? Why did I stunlock this long here? This chatter, I roasted them too hard. This was kind of a problematic opinion. I should be more careful with things like this. My noise gate was fucked. Gotta work on that. Why did my lighting look bad? Gotta set aside 5 hours to work on that. And then I also criticize the way that I look. It's like, my hair looked really bad that day. I really should work on the way that, like, I do my hair. Let me set aside some time. Or like, my, like, dark circles look really fucking bad. Let's do some research on makeup and see how to remove dark circles. Which I did find these crazy products, by the way. I did a bunch of research. This took hours, but it was worth it. It's like a color corrector and a concealer. And this shit is real. It's called faux filter because it fucking looks like a filter on your face. And it's like, you put on like an undertone down, which is the orange bottle. And then you put the concealer on, which is the black bottle. And it literally looks like, I'm getting a full night's rest when I am not getting a full-time rest. I'm not sponsored. So these products are cool. But this was like hours of I don't want to buy 10,000 fucking concealers to figure out which one is correct. So I have to sit at my computer for fucking 5 hours and be like, check all the reviews, see the product. What does this product do? This product doesn't do. And then it works. It did it. But that's my point. Like, I think if you get on, I think if I got on stream and I just streamed whatever the fuck I wanted, and then I got off stream, my stream would suck. I am not naturally, I think, a good entertainer. I don't think anyone is naturally an amazing entertainer. I think it's a learned skill. Congrats on you and Hassan being verified bourgeois by Twitter. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. I've always wanted to be a member of the bourgeois. So, yeah, and it's just like, and I would like to think that obviously luck plays a huge factor. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like luck does not play a factor. That's fucking stupid. But I didn't really receive a lot of help from other content creators. I stream in the morning, so I don't get raids. I didn't really get shout outs. I didn't really do collabs. I couldn't find people who wanted to really collab. And over the past, 2 years, I went from like consistently being able to do 300 average viewers to where I am now. And I would like to think that at least some of the effort that I put in was worth it and helped me. And I would like to take a little bit of credit. Of course, again, luck is like really, really huge and luck is really important. But luck will only take you so far. The best tweet that I've ever seen on that topic, on the topic of luck versus other things, is there's a tweet from The Veil. I think I showed it to you guys actually. But there's a tweet from The Veil. He's like a YouTuber and also streamer. And he responded to a tweet from Dan Clancy. Dan Clancy said something like, the best way to grow on Twitch is via collabing with other people. And he's not wrong, of course. Collabing with other people helps a lot. But The Veil had a tweet where he basically said, I collabed like crazy. I got all the viewers and I lost them because my content wasn't entertaining. And I didn't realize that I had to sit down and work on that hardcore first. But now I'm struggling to find it. These goddamn streamers be tweeting too much. You see, control. What was I? Oh, Twitter search. Let's try and find it. I don't think I'll be able to find it, but it was a really good tweet. It was a really, really good tweet. Yeah. Okay. One of the harshest criticisms I ever got of my stream was from a friend, because I tell all my friends, if you ever watch my stream, please tell me what you don't like about it, please. And I will never forget one of my friends said, "You're too stiff on stream." And I spent literally months trying to come off more natural on stream. That was like the harshest, most scathing criticism of myself that I've ever heard. I was like, ah. If you're too glossy on cam during summer, I can recommend MAC Prep Prime. Dude, I stand by this product. I stand by the MAC, the finishing spray. Not gonna lie, that's what I thought when I first started watching you. Stop! No! Stop! Stop. Now, I don't know. I can only speak from my experience. I don't know. Maybe other people streaming came really natural for them. And they just went on stream and it was easy and then they just blew up. I'm sure that there have been streamers that have experienced that. In my personal experience, most streamers have sat down and worked really hard. And a lot of the streamers that I've spoken to worked really hard to make their stream into what it is. And I have a lot of respect because I didn't have this respect for streamers until I started streaming. And after that, I was like, wow, these people actually put in a lot of time. And they actually really try to create a fun show. And I didn't respect it until I had to do it myself. And I was like, wow, I feel like such an asshole. Milfound, thank you for the prime. Thank you. Anyways, so that's that. Now we can get into the drama aspect of it right now, right after we do this. I'm a streamer that gets like 20 to 30 viewers. I stream politics, so no cap, I love this shit. I'm a debate bro freak, admittedly, but it's definitely hard. And yes, I was a random chatter. I always thought it was super easy, but it's not. And I started streaming from 0 viewers. Just to be clear, I streamed at 0 viewers. I streamed art initially, and I got super burned out creatively. And then I started doing gaming content, and I realized, oh, I felt like such an idiot afterward. Oh my God. I was like, streaming is easy. You just play video games and then people come watch. Because I love video games. I was like, how hard could it be? Just like stream video games. It's easy. And I was so wrong. I was so wrong. I couldn't believe that was such a humbling moment for me because I realized, oh, this is way harder than I thought it was. Oh, this is way harder than I thought it was. Oh God. Oh God. I mean, I think that streaming games is actually harder than chatting. Woman moment. I don't know. Because I think going live, pressing go live, and then playing a video game is easy. But I think doing all of the stuff, the peripheral stuff, is hard. Chatting while and being funny and entertaining while playing the game. And there's lots of other little bits and pieces that come together, like having the perfect balance, in my experience, between having inside jokes. So there is a community aspect, but not having so many inside jokes and having your community be so unapproachable that you can never get more people into the community. Recognizing that, like, you have to repeat yourself a lot as a streamer. Like, I know I've already explained this a bunch of times. I'm going to explain it again because there's always new people that want to listen and don't know what's going on. And I've had a lot of instances, for example, where I click on other people's streams and they're making so many inside jokes and they're not explaining anything. And I'm like, I'm just kind of confused. And then I just leave. Another good one is like watching other streamers, successful streamers, watching their interviews. I watched an interview and the streamer said, like, you're only as good as your last 2 streams. And that, like, changed my brain. Like, the chemicals, like, just recombobulated in my brain. I was like, wow, that's true. Like, think about it. If you went to a restaurant and you got, like, sour food, that was your first time going to that restaurant and you got sour food, would you ever go back again? You'd probably be like, what the fuck was that? I'm not coming back here again. There's too many restaurants for you to want to go back. And it's the same thing with streaming. It's like, you have a limited period of time where you can turn people off by making a joke that's not funny or a joke that's rude or whatever. And people are like, oh, I didn't like that. And then they leave and they never come back. And you have to, like, be conscious of that. Or, and then there's, like, more unique stuff for, like, what type of streamer are you and what type of streamer do you want to be? And I have found, now this is my personal experience, maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. I'm just talking, this is literally all of this, I am just talking about my personal experience. I found that as a woman on Twitch, just like in most other spaces, you have to be better and nicer. And I am shocked at how many things I implemented as, like, just hypothesis. Like, I'm just like, maybe will this even work? And then it did. Like, guys, okay, don't tell anyone, all right? Just genuinely don't tell anyone. But I ran an experiment on stream. Okay. I ran an experiment on stream. And I was like, I made, like, a whole science fair project. And I was like, does streaming as a woman change how you must present things? and I guinea pigged. I have to admit, I did guinea pig on you guys. And I picked controversial topics, and I would just say my opinion on the thing, and then let people, I would see how people would react. And then I was like, just as a treat, let's see what happens when I say the same thing. I have a control group, obviously, but then as a second experiment, I do the same thing, but I play a video from someone of the other gender saying the same thing, and then piggyback off of that. And for some reason, people are a lot more receptive when I do that. And that's because everyone's brain is fucking hardwired to be bigoted. You're just like, it's in you because you grow up in a fucking society. Like, I'm misogynistic. Everyone is misogynistic because you grew up in a misogynistic society. It's just about how much of your misogyny you can actually perceive. But for some reason, people get like upset when you're like, when you accuse them of having any misogynistic ideas. I don't know why that is. But it's more that, like, in my opinion, and this is the same for like people like Candace Owens, in my opinion, like, you have to win people over first before they start believing you or trusting you or taking you as like a source of genuine information. And for one reason or another, it just helps to have your opinion also be said by a dude. It just does. People are just more receptive to the ideas. I'm sure there's case studies on it. I mean, people already, we have case studies and we have clinical trials of like women being perceived as talking more than they actually were talking. It's in there. It's just in there. Like, you can't get it out of your brain. It's in there. So there's a lot of stuff like that I think is important. The office studies or whatever, when a man says something, it's believed some percentage more than when a woman said it. Yeah. The TLDR, of course, on all of this is simply, it's a business, in my opinion. In like, streaming is a job, and you should treat it the way you would treat any other job. You would never show up to like a carpenting job and be like, well, I guess let's see what I can do. You would do research, you would come prepared, blah, 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 blah. It's the same thing with streaming. It's like, you have to be prepared. You have to constantly work on things. You don't just wing it. TLDR, read Judith Butler. You're spitting, dude. You are fucking spitting. You're spitting, man. You're spitting. Okay, now on to the next point, guys. What I got canceled for. All right. Now, I tweeted this out. I did not think that this was a scandalous tweet. I didn't realize people were going to think this is so scandalous. Because I was just talking about my experience where I said, as someone who would work 12-hour shifts, I told you guys it was door-to-door sales bullshit. With a 4-hour commute, streaming is easily the hardest job that I've had. The post-stream social exhaustion is so real, I don't know how anyone can do it every day. And again, I'm just talking about my experience as someone who did fucking door-to-door sales for 12 hours and had a fucking 4-hour commute and had to go to school while doing it. That was a hard job. This is harder. The level of like self-criticizing you have to do as a content creator is so much, it causes so much stress, I think. It's just, the thing is, it's also very fulfilling because bringing back this, a job can be taxing and fulfilling. And he wrote, streaming is by far one of the easiest, most privileged jobs one can have. If you're successful, surely I can trust the opinion of someone who can't even write the correct right? This is a good source right here. If you're successful, the rewards far outweigh any of the negatives compared to any service job. Cybersecurity or nursing, you'll find something actually exhausting. This guy doesn't stream. Isn't this guy a YouTuber? Also, cybersecurity is not, maybe the people I know who do cybersecurity are, they just happen to have easy jobs, but and again, I didn't say that streaming is the hardest jobs. I said streaming is the hardest job I have done. It's not, I'm not making a claim with about anyone else's job. I'm not going to tell someone else that their job is easier than mine. His last stream was 2 years ago. Again, and let me just say something really quickly as well. 2 things. Number 1, I already mentioned this. Being a YouTuber is fucking easy. Okay? Especially if you upload monthly, being a YouTuber is so fucking easy. As a successful YouTuber, that is the easiest job on the fucking planet. And I know because I'm friends with a lot of YouTubers, and they will literally take like 3-week vacations. It is so fucking easy a job. I am so jealous of those people. I want to be a YouTuber so bad. But transitioning to being a YouTuber is kind of a lot of work.
Yeah, he's a YouTuber, which is, of course, completely different. He's the one who, with other YouTuber Karl Jobs, uncovered the completionist donation fraud scandal. His take here is so off base.
I mean, Mudahar is like, he's off on things all the time. This is like just another one of his like bad takes. It's just another one of his bad takes. Is that an AI Hassan? Yeah, we have a lot of AI voices. Sorry, I banned this guy because I don't like chatters that just anytime they're in chat, the only time they're in chat, they are just complaining. But I wanted to show it to you guys. This guy's been around for 5 months, 6 months. So he's watched the stream and he has the audacity to write in chat. Is there anything easier than being a streamer? You're gaming all day. You've watched this stream before. How can you come in here and say, I don't even game on stream? Because gaming on stream is too hard. Workers fighting workers for no reason. I know. But this is one of those things where it's like, hilariously enough, if Keemstar is against you, you're on the right side. And hilariously enough, Keemstar started the discourse. And I disagree with him, so I'm on the right side. And anyone else who's agreeing with him is also on the wrong side. So I feel very comfortable with this. I know that I did not say anything controversial. If people want to get mad, they can get mad. I don't care. Now, growing as a YouTuber is so much harder than growing as a streamer. Going from 0 subscribers to like 10,000 subs as a YouTuber, that is so difficult because you have no engagement, and it's like you just hitting a wall over and over and over again. But as a successful YouTubers, their job is definitely easier than successful streamers, I will say. Unless you do like a very specific, unique, niche kind of thing. Just because YouTubers can prep content ahead of time. And they can set up a bunch of like schedules, and they can take like a week off. They can take 2 weeks off. Streamers, I mean, how rare is it that streamers take a month off? Some YouTubers literally take months off every other month. saying anything on the internet is a more dangerous job than being a cop. Yeah. There's a lot of people on Twitter saying guests on games for 9 hours. They're just saying anything. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, gosh. How do you grow as a streamer? I mean, there's a lot that goes into it, but I would say there are two primary things that are important. Have the best content that you can have, no matter what you think you're doing. No matter how much you think what you're doing is good, there are mistakes that are constantly being made. And you need to continue to work on your stream as much as you can in every regard. The second thing, consistency, obviously, sorry, a secret third thing, consistency. Have a schedule. If you don't have a schedule, you're not going to grow. That, in my opinion, it's really hard to grow without a schedule. And the last thing I was going to say was collab with people your size. And then grow, and then collab with people that are bigger, and then grow, and then collab with people who are bigger, and so on and so on and so forth. I streamed to 0 viewers for a while, and then I was like, this sucks. And I went and watched a bunch of YouTube guides, and they said, like, have your friends tune in. Because having maybe 1 or 2 friends tune in will keep you company and help improve your stream. And that's what I did. I had friends that I made, like, from my guild, watch my stream and keep me company. And then I collab with people that were like 10 viewer indies, and then 20, and then 30, and then 40, and so on and so forth. And every single large streamer will tell you that this is good advice. Because streaming to 0 viewers is just so brutal. It's so fucking brutal. Just trying to goon. Thank you for the tier 1. Thanks. Okay. Now, every YouTuber is different, the same as every streamer is different. A YouTuber can upload every day, have his channel be more like a classic 9 to 5, or you can show up once a week. Streamers, of course, sure. I'm saying that there are a lot of YouTubers that are established YouTubers that only upload like once a month, and that's because it's based. It's based. And if I was a YouTuber, I would also do that shit. And then there's this also. A cool German streamer I've been following for like 7 years, did time off for months, multiple times. It kills your viewership. Whereas you can kind of fall off the earth for like 6 months as a YouTuber, but if you have an established audience, the second you upload your video, H bomber guy, you get views again. Pretty much off the bat, Nick's Not Green rated me, so I had 8 viewers for a while, and then COVID ended and they all left. Yep. Yeah. And that's really nice. That's nice. Of course, 100%. Yeah, like there are definitely YouTubers who work probably harder than I do. But the fact that you can take months off as a YouTuber, it's such a privilege. It's such a sick privilege.
The biggest streamer that streams the most hours is XQC, but he says that streaming is the easiest work ever. Why is the difference with you and Hassan? And may the difference be because of your choice how you do content creation compared to XQC.
I think that there are a couple freaks of nature, like XQC, who they were just made, like created in a lab to make content. And I think anyone who streams 12 hours a day is just a different breed of person. And you cannot compare yourself to those people. Like, that guy chews on his fucking toenails and speaks Papega. Like, that is a different breed of person. Also, XQC is clearly not okay. I don't know if you've seen the toll that his streaming career has taken on his life due to his divorce, question mark? Compulsive 11, thank you for the 5 months. Thank you. He's just drama baiting because it's easy to do it within Hassan's context. Yeah. He's just saying XQC is just taking the opposite side because I've literally heard him say that it's hard as well. Yeah. Yeah, it's because it is. And that brings us to our next point. Asmongold. Asmongold published a video saying Hassan Piker attacked on Twitter. Where is it? Is it deleted? No, it's here. I just missed it. Let's go.
I actually wasn't even planning on streaming today. I was like, I think I'm gonna just take the day off. But I started reading Twitter. I was like, man, there's a lot of retards. Like, we gotta talk about this. Millionaire streamer Hassan Piker claims that a real job doesn't suck the soul out of you in the same way that streaming will. And the funny thing about this is that this kid goes and he says this to try to like fucking throw up a white flag. He's like, no, no, no. I'm actually on your side. I agree with them. Bro, quit the fucking capping. Like, this kid is lying. You're lying. What do you mean you agree?
What a Weasley little liar.
When you preface it by saying millionaire streamer, you really think that we don't like, you think I haven't spent the last 20 years seeing Fox News do this shit? Seeing CNN do this shit? He definitely is trying to roast the shit out of him. Like, what are we talking about? What a little rat. I can't believe this. It's like this guy goes and farms a bunch of hate. My message to Hassan fans, get a job. But then he agrees with the tweet. What are you doing? What a little rat. This guy farms hate on Hassan.
It's really sad, but like, I was going to tweet in January. I forgot what Asmongold tweeted, but it was something based. And I was going to tweet in January, very beginning of the year. It was like January 3rd, and I had it in my draft, and I decided not to tweet it because I was like, this is going to age poorly, I know. But the draft in my tweets was, is 2024 going to be the year where I actually agree with Asmongold? And consistently, he has given me reasons to want to fucking tweet that out. And it's one reason, right? It's because Asmongold is like, I think, probably the only streamer so far that I've seen that engages in the drama sphere, I guess, if you could call it that, and actually believes the shit that he says. It doesn't feel like he ever grifts. It doesn't feel like he says bullshit because he wants to say bullshit. And he has things I dislike about him for sure, but I respect the fuck out of the fact that he has principles and he does his best to believe in those principles and he defends what he thinks is right and he doesn't defend what he doesn't think is right. And I noticed that earlier this year because he very easily could have taken shots at me because like I ended up in that one tweet, blah, blah, someone linked it, whatever. And he didn't even attack me. I was like, that was free. That was so free. That was such free content for him. And he didn't. And he did something else earlier in the year. I don't remember what it was. And there was something earlier that was also really fucking based. And the fact that he's doing this is just like, it's just the cherry on top. Like, I actually respect him. I do. And he's gonna, now that I've said this, tomorrow he's gonna make an insane take. He's gonna be like, actually, I think teachers, they make too much. He's gonna say something crazy tomorrow, for sure. Hassan has said it best. Asmon has good takes and bad takes, but he's on a journey and he's come a long way. I just don't think that he's reactionary in the way that a lot of other content creators are reactionary. It feels like there are people who have their value systems and they judge everything based on those value systems. And then it feels like there are people who have their principles and they judge situations, not people, based on those principles, and they try to be consistent. And I fucking appreciate that. Even if I disagree with you, even if we don't see eye to eye on a lot of things, I fucking agree. I respect that.
Gets 15 people from Hassan's chat saying, I don't agree with you. You took it out of context. And then he's got to make a follow-up tweet about it. Like, oh no, stop bullying me. He changed his mind because Destiny said he agrees with Hassan. TC Brady is in Destiny's Discord. It's good to know that it wasn't really a principled stance. Let's listen to what Hassan says. And this is the clip that's taken apparently out of context.
What was I
So
just
we'll
saying?
watch the full context.
What was I just saying? Like, there are people who literally, like this guy. Now, it's hard to tell whether this guy is just a fucking idiot. Mutahar? I don't know how you pronounce his name. It's hard to tell if this guy is just a fucking idiot or what. But this is someone who just like, he has things that make him feel good and things that make him feel bad. And he says the things that make him feel good. That's it. He doesn't actually like think about things and think like, is this consistent with my other positions? Is this consistent with like these positions? He just says what he wants to say and doesn't really care. It's just whatever is like the first opinion. Muhadar, he had pretty good taste when I watched him on YouTube. It's like he fell off hardcore. I don't know what happened to him. Thank God D spoke on it. I almost had my own opinions. Yeah. No, but 2024 literally was like the second or third day of 2024. And I'm like, God damn it. Asmongold's really going to make me respect him. You fucker. You fucker. And every single day past that point, he's made me want to double down on that. Every single day. It's because I have like a love-hate relationship where Asmongold initially, when I watched him, I didn't watch him play fucking WoW because I'm not a loser. But when I watched some of his content, I saw he made a video on like, basically just like wealth and how like you should live within your means. And I thought it was so cool. And I had so much respect for it. I was like, wow, that's actually like cool to like see other content creators, or to see content creators who aren't like wealth obsessed. And then he said a bunch of dog shit stuff, and I was like, no. And then he got based again, and I was like, yes, yes. So I'm currently on my pro Asmongold streak right now. So please don't let me down, man. Please don't let me down. Please. I think he just doesn't know enough about some of the stuff that he talks about, and that's why he has bad takes on some things. Like the stuff with Andrew Tate. That was so obviously he just didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. So when he knows what he's talking about and he actually has done the research on it, I think he has good takes. But when he doesn't watch or read or do any research on something, his takes are bad. Stop it. Stop talking about things you've done no research on, you fucker. I personally like Asmon. He's a pretty intelligent dude, so he has bad takes. He's mostly pretty big. Did he? Oh yeah, someone said, oh yeah. And then chat fucking... And then I became partial because he fucking worked for the IRS and I'm a fucking accounting bitch. So don't let me down. Don't do it. Please, Asmon, please. I'm confused. Wasn't Hassan just talking about his own life and wasn't comparing it to anyone else's work? Yes.
Denims,
yes.
It is okay if your weak spot is a terrible taste in men. It just brightens chat's day when you think about it.
See, the problem is I'm partial to degens because I am a degen. Like I am a huge degenerate, and so I feel a kinship to other degenerates. Like I see other gaming degenerates who just wants to sit down and play video games for 12 hours a day. And I'm like, no. No, you just like me for real. You think I want to shower? Do you think I like showering? No. No. I do it because I have to. Okay? Because people get mad if you don't. You think I want to brush my teeth, man? No, I do it because it's fucking disgusting to not do it. That's why. Every day is a struggle where I'm like, born to shit, forced to wipe. But not actually, because I love bidets, and if you don't have a bidet, you are sick. You are sick. You have fully functioning executive functions. You ain't never been a degen? Yeah, yeah. Me? No. No, I've never been a degen. Oh my God, no. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Totally. I didn't like get an addiction to like Overwatch and almost fail school because of it. Ha ha ha. Me? I've never gone like 3 weeks without showering before. Me? No. No. You're thinking of someone else. No, I did not get cavities on like literally every single molar when I was horribly depressed and anxious of the dentist because I have anxiety. No, you're thinking of someone else. No. No, that's someone else for sure. For sure. No. Because like, as you can see, I'm an upstanding member of society. Does this look like someone who doesn't want to shower? No. I definitely don't have tens of thousands of hours in video gaming. You're thinking of someone else. Yeah. Yeah. Where's me chips? Thank you for the prime. Okay, I am going to humor this only once. Only once. Okay? And we'll go from there. I'm going to humor it once. Denims, can you explain how you work 16 hours a day, 12-hour shift plus 4-hour commute while also doing uni full-time? I'll explain it one more time. I worked 4 days a week doing door-to-door sales. And I worked our headquarters, whatever you can call it. Our office was originally a 20-minute bus ride away from my house. And then they switched offices to somewhere that was now 2 hours away from my house. And so it was a bus ride to a train ride to a train ride to a bus ride. And so I usually used that time either doing homework or napping. And then I did school for the other days. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I went to school. I don't know if it's just New York or what, but New York universities, you can get like Saturday classes. They're like 3-hour classes. And usually there's like an intermission of like 10 minutes in between the class because 3 hours is a long ass time. And since my home life was mid, I didn't have my own room or my own bed or anything like that. I liked staying outside. And so I would go to my 3-hour classes on Saturday and Sunday. And Friday, it wasn't 3-hour classes, it was 1-hour classes. And then I would go to the library afterward. Because my school had a pretty nice library. And I would just study and do homework for the next like 3-4 hours. And I would go home and sleep. And that is how I did it. Yeah. Yeah. And I did it because I had to pay for classes. I did not want to do that job. I hated that job. But I did it because I needed a way to pay for thousands of dollars of classes that I was taking. And I didn't want to take bank loans. CUNY's pretty based. CUNY's are great. CUNY's are great. I highly recommend them. I just don't agree with like giving into like the mob. Like there was some fucking loser online that was like, oh, I'll give you $5,000 if you can prove it. You think I give a fuck if you believe me? Bitch, you probably don't even have $5,000. I don't give a fuck if you believe me. The only people I want to believe me are my own community members. I don't give a shit if you don't believe me. What? Why would I publish my personal documents for your acceptance? Who the fuck do you think you are? I don't give a shit who you are. And I surely don't give a fuck about your $5,000. I've turned down HelloFresh offers for more off of principled positions because they don't treat their workers right. Specifically that they union bust. And you think I'm going to take your $5,000? Fuck you. Fuck you. Genuinely. I am not going to ever cave to the people that are like, oh, you like Nirvana? Name 5 Nirvana songs. I bet you can't. Okay, suck my dick, idiot. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if you believe me. I don't give a fuck about your acceptance. Don't believe me, please. Make yourself look like an idiot. I don't give a shit. Oh, God. Anyways, excuse me. Oh, God. I'll match that 5K if you include your social security number, bank account, and routing number. Anyways. Let's go back to the video.
In a minute, okay.
Yes, a real job can be gruesome. A real job can make you very tired, but a real job doesn't suck the soul out of you. You know what I mean? In the same way that 9 hours of streaming absolutely will.
Like, a job can suck the soul out of you, but it's not the same as the way that streaming sucks it out of you.
So,
okay,
yes.
So that's the original clip, and there's apparently there's a clip here. It's a 2-minute clip, and so this is him explaining what actually was said.
No.
Okay, here we go.
No. Social battery wise, unless you're in fucking retail, it's very different. You're out of touch. I'm gonna die, dude. There's motherfuckers who are accountants in here and they're misunderstanding what I'm saying. A real job does not expend your social battery in the same fucking way as someone who did a sales job, a real job. Okay. I'm telling you, as someone who did both, like 9 hours of constant performance and people pleasing taps you out from social scenarios. After 9 hours of that, I could probably do fucking physical labor. It would not bother me, but I can't fucking do more social shit. That's my point.
I'm the same way.
Like, there are obviously real jobs out there that are good comparisons. Service sector, people-pleasing jobs would be very similar. Those are, like, I think, customer service type shit. But, like, if you're an accountant or if you're even, like, in sales, my interactions with clients was limited, way more limited than, like, constantly having to do this for 9 hours with, like, a back and forth interaction for 9 hours. That's what like sucks your social battery and you just tap out after it. Yeah, think about it this way. Like, you give presentations for your job, right? Imagine giving a presentation for 9 hours straight. It's like, after a while, you would be like, I don't want to talk.
Or the department manager just occasionally is just like, hey, you suck, bitch. Bald ass bitch, you fell off, huh? We're gonna remember this in your performance review. You fat fuck. Stupid ass bitch.
Ever again.
So people are getting mad. It's a bad take. What's it a bad take of? He says that he gets exhausted socially because he's talking to people for 9 hours a day. You really think that's not true? I mean, you really think it's not true that after you spend 9 hours being investigated by thousands of people with every facial movement, everything you say, every word, with people constantly trying to disagree with you and fight with you, that's not socially draining. This is totally understandable. And he's not comparing it to every other job. He's saying compared to other jobs where you're not talking to people constantly. His take isn't broad enough. Yeah, it is. He explained it pretty clearly. The clip out of context was posted 30 minutes after he said that. Instantly on Reddit, it blew up calling him a dumbass, which just reinforces his argument. Well, yeah, it's definitely understandable. Exactly. Just think nobody knows what's really socially draining. Well, not saying it isn't, but it's not as bad as others. I think that like so streaming as like a job
Tweet your tweet, Denim.
is extremely socially draining. It is. That's why like there's a weird catch-22 where a lot of streamers are introverted, but being a streamer requires you to do a lot of things that extroverts want you to do. So like in order to be good at something, you have to be one way, and in order to cope with it, the success of being good at it, you have to be another way. And so that's what it is. Hassan's basically explaining that in a more, direct way. You could say a simpler way. And he's getting shit on. But a lot of people think they're introverted whenever they're actually extroverts. Well, I don't know about that. Did you start the stream? You went right into this? Yeah, because I usually spend the first hour of my stream talking about nothing. And like, then I don't like play video games until like it's midnight or like 5 hours into the stream. I didn't do anything. Like we gotta get this shit done. Like there's a lot of stuff to talk about today. I don't have time to fucking sit around and talk about like, oh, I went live late today because my back hurt. Oh my God. We really need to hear about this again? Who the fuck cares? So yeah. Like, we're not going to get into that again. Having streaming as a job is an exhausting situation. Yeah, of course it is, right? Hassan is right. People are just reactionary. They absolutely are. Someone actually said real job. What does that mean? A real job is a job that you have. Bullshit jobs are the ones that other people have. It's just that simple. It's quite trendy and quite frankly easy to shit on Hassan. That's the crux of it all. Well, hey, if it's so easy to shit on him, then why are you making up fake reasons to do it? If he's got so many bad takes and he says all this stuff that's wrong, then why not focus on that rather than taking something that's totally understandable and then turning it into something that it's not? He makes thousands of dollars a day. Him making takes trying to relate to normal working people is fucking stupid. Well, there are normal working people that also make thousands of dollars a day. So, like, I don't really understand, like, what your point is. Yeah, I mean, what do you mean? It's a stupid comparison. Yeah, like, what? Like, do you think streamer is the only job that you can make a lot of money in? I have tons of friends that make tons of money. And a lot of them aren't streamers. Yeah, what do you mean? Like, what the fuck? No. It's chatter can't think past 2. Exactly.
Twitter is absolutely just straight up 4chan now. So many people's brains are cooked. One day we will study its impact on a generation of school shooters who grew up in here. /Reddit, but it'll be too late. Yup. Look, literally look at these replies. Literally look at these replies. Look at this. This is like a perfect block list. This is literally, you could go down the list and do this, and you would be based to do it. Ah! Twitter homepage. Whew. Scared for a second. I don't know why it took me to the homepage.
They're not normal anymore. Well, I think that is normal as in like they don't work in entertainment, right? They don't work in entertainment. Why do people assume that money solves all your issues and doesn't drain you? Well, hey, Kanye West said it. He said that I was gonna make a joke, but I figured actually, you know what? We'll give that another 6 months before I make those jokes. He said, having money isn't everything, but not having it is. I think that's really the truth, right? That's it. So, like, if you don't have money,
thank you, Rob.
That's everything in your life. If you do have money, you realize that there are other problems in life that are also important. But if you don't have that, money is going to mean more to you than almost anything else. So, yeah. Streamer doesn't make a lot of money when you actually normalize the salary. Engineers, doctors, people in trades make median more than a streamer. Streaming is extremely top heavy. Well, of course it is. And there are a lot of people that are grinding away and they stream 8 hours a day and they get, let's say, 300 viewers, 500 viewers. They make $100,000 a year. Let's be very, very optimistic here.
That is very optimistic. When I had that, I was making max like $2K a month.
$100,000 a year. And like, I'll be real. If somebody was making that much money and, you know, like it was like, is
Okay, but like say worse, right? He literally looks like the naked mole rat and Kim Possible. Like, I'm just gonna say it again. I'm just gonna say it. All right, I'm sorry.
this really a good idea for you to do this? Probably not. $100,000 is still a lot. It is a lot, but whenever you think
With
about
love.
the fact that streaming is just so transient, like for example, you can get banned. Oh, well, now you're banned. Now what? Like all of your job experience, everything that you did, like it's completely different. Like you have like a 3-year gap in employment. You have like this online presence that, you know, creates a context in which people see you. So yeah, you can get fired. Exactly. No, yeah, you definitely can get fired. But the difference is that like streaming, there are jobs that exist in entertainment that streaming helps you understand and learn. That's definitely true. But at the same
And this isn't even talking about like, this isn't something that I think happens very often, to be clear, but I've seen it happen to friends. The best example would be Quite. I think YouTuber Quite, someone came out against him and basically said like this person assaulted me and this guy was very like pushy and did not respect me saying no and all this other stuff and like abused their power against me. And this poor guy Quite just like got giga canceled on the internet. Giga canceled. And he made a video and he even showed his face. He was a faceless YouTuber before then. And he showed his face and said, I'm literally a virgin. Yep. Just to embarrass myself in front of everyone. I'm 20 something and I'm still a virgin. So it's quite literally impossible for me to have done any of this to you. In fact, actually, here are all of our text messages. And here is you showing that you were the one actively pushing me to make out with you. So no, actually, I did not do this. Very fucked up to say that I did this. Okay, hopefully I can move on with the rest of my life. Like, now again, it's not that it happens frequently, but it does happen where some people just like, you just have certain rumors that are spread about you or someone makes a takedown on you and they just lie about stuff and your career is ruined. It's literally ruined. I had a friend of mine who she literally got canceled because people said that she was being mean. How so? She told her friends that an artist didn't deliver after she already paid them hundreds of dollars. And they accused her of blackballing her and ruining their career. Like, let's pretend like this streamer's name is Sarah. Sarah orders a commission from chat. Chat's like, don't worry, I got you. Sarah sends over $500. Chat's like, don't worry, next month I got you. Next month I got you. Next month I got you. Sarah eventually is like, am I ever going to get this? It's been a year and I still haven't gotten this. No, I'm not going to get it. Okay, well, I'm going to tell my friends that you, and not to say that she said this to them. She just personally said, hey, I just want you guys to know, I commissioned this artist. They never delivered. I wouldn't recommend commissioning them. Because, like, they didn't refund me. They didn't deliver. Like, I don't. And one of many people who claimed that she was mean was that person who's like, well, she ruined my ability to get commissions in the future by telling other people that I didn't do the art for her. among a bunch of other bullshit that wasn't real. And she just couldn't take it anymore. She couldn't take like the number of people that were harassing her and making shit up about her, and she just quit. She quit doing content after like, I think years of like working hard and almost making it. And I like feel so bad for her. That's how reputation works. Yeah, I mean, you have to be super on guard whenever you do content because like people will take things that are not, that no normal person would take as offensive, but on the internet, people know that they can get away with it and it's anonymous, so they do it. So yeah. Like you can have your career like destroyed in seconds. I mean, how many people think Hassan went to a brothel that had underage women, girls? And literally won't watch him because of something that didn't happen. Literally, it was for tax dodging. There were no minors in that brothel. Those were all adult women. The company running the brothel didn't pay the fucking taxes. That's what happened. And people still spread this rumor. Think if more people believed the rumor. And then, oh yeah, and then the worst part is the brothel actually countersued and they actually did in fact pay their taxes. So it's all bullshit. They were exonerated. The city apologized. Oh my God, the guy who is pro sex work and thinks prostitution should be legal went and sought out sex work? I can't believe it. We gotta quickly make up a lie. It's so stupid. I'm pretty sure it was just a story he told his community and some asshole turned it into a scandalous drama. Yeah. I'm pretty sure he was also like 19. Literally, totally legal, consensual sex work. So yeah, like your career really is just like very fragile when you do content because, you know, you could get perma-banned and you could have no other platform, so you're kind of fucked. You can get canceled off of bullshit like Quite was and not be able to rehabilitate your image. There's stuff that like it can all be over in like seconds. It's fucked up, but it's sadly true. Also, someone linked this in chat.
I've seen so many videos about this recently, so let's talk influencers. Just for perspective, I've been working as a full-time influencer since about November of 2022. Even though I hate the word influencer and I call myself a content creator. Because the word influencer just makes it seem like you think you're better than everyone. I don't know. I just don't vibe with the word. Anyway.
I hate the word influencer so much. She is so right for this. I fucking hate it. I refuse to call myself an influencer. What do I do? Influence people to be fucking nerds? I don't want that on my conscience. No. No, do not let me influence you. Unless it's about going to the gym, in which case I don't view that as being an influencer. I view that as like your friend telling you like working out is good for you. Yeah, you might like it. No.
Anyway, there are lots of videos right now going viral of influencers or content creators complaining.
Internet stream Denims needs to work a real job to be relatable. Bobby. I just think it's funny how many people got mad about something so stupid.
About their job. Okay. And guys, I get it. It is normal to complain about your job. But also at the same time, we need to learn how to read a room. I have worked many other jobs outside of content, and I can tell you one thing. Working as a content creator is a luxury. not a chore, especially if you make enough to do this full time. Being a full-time content creator provides you with luxuries that many jobs don't. Being your own boss is a blessing in and of itself. When you work, how hard you work, what you work on, you basically get to decide everything. And that's something a lot of people wish they could have. I know I did. Being a full-time content creator gives you the opportunity to also make a lot of money. The fact that we can make the same salary as a doctor for uploading videos on the internet, how are you not so honored to have that job? I think sometimes people in this industry forget that this job is a dream job. Influencers complaining about their job is like somebody winning an Oscar and then complaining that it's too heavy to carry. It's crazy. But I think people in this industry sometimes get so out of touch and so far removed, they don't even see it. They forget how lucky they are to even be in this industry. It makes me sick when I see somebody complaining about how many PR packages they're receiving. Not only is that a company spending their money to gift you something, and a lot of times these are small businesses who don't really have the extra money for gifting, but 99.99999% of people have to pay for it. And they do, with money that they worked really hard to earn. Some people can't afford those products at all, despite how hard they're working. A lot of families can't even afford food to feed their kids. Imagine how they feel when they open TikTok and they see some girl complaining about how much free stuff she has. It's just wrong. I think a lot of influencers forget that the only reason we have this job is because of you. You are the reason I'm even able to get PR packages. You are the reason I get to be my own boss, which is why every single day I get to—
Oh, this is such an easy position to have. I have now it's hard to say if she actually believes it or not. This is such an easy position to have, and it's so very obviously, like, I don't want to call it groveling because groveling is not the right word, but it's just so easy to say, like, I couldn't be here without you guys. Okay, social credit, please. Can I get my points now? Points. I'm sure her job is hard. Don't downplay the fact that your job is hard. It's just, you don't have to, I'm never going to say that my job is harder than your job. I'm never going to say that. Because I can't say how hard your job is. Like, I can't. It's not possible. I don't know how hard your job is. I don't know. Maybe if you did streaming would be really easy for you. I don't know. I'm only making claims, and just like everyone else, is just making claims about how exhausting it is. And we're not going to the world and being like, my life.
Points.
It's so difficult. Like, oh my God, the only thing that would make my life a little bit less difficult is if you guys donated $6 billion right now. Yeah, like, that's the only thing that can remedy my issues. Like, no one's saying that. We're just saying, like, oh, dude, the worst part about streaming is just, like, the social exhaustion. It just fucking sucks the life out of you. Makes you not want to do anything. But, like, obviously still very privileged and lucky to have this. Like, I'm not going to make any claim about anything else. Pandering is the word you're looking for? Kinda. This is so sad. Can we please get to 50 billion gifted? Like, what? I love how the whole vibe of the subject is boomer, no one wants to work anymore, and no one works harder than me trope. Oh my goodness. I watch a lot of streamers, and the random hate they get always stands out. As someone with mental health issues, I 100% see how that could be overwhelming. She's responding to the Hassan tweet, basically. I just think it's like virtue signaling. Because, I mean, if you are a content creator and most of your audience are people who are not content creators, you can pander to the people who are not content creators and just say, like, oh, you guys have it so much worse and harder and it's so hard. I can't believe these other ungrateful content creators would say something so mean to you guys. It's like, what? No. This is from January? Oh, this has nothing to do about it. Oh. This has nothing to do with Hassan. Okay, thank you. Session, thank you for the gift sub. Thank you. She's clearly talking about TikTok influencer. Someone in chat posted it and said this is in response to Hassan. I'm sorry that I fell for the chat. I'll do my research better next time.
To do this, I should be very thankful. Like, I'm talking just won a lottery thankful. You are
So maybe the person she's talking about actually was doing it in a scummy way. Maybe the person she's talking about was complaining in a way that was cringe.
That I have this job. It's not because I'm special. It's not because I deserve it more. It's because you guys trusted me with it. Makes me so disappointed in this industry when people don't realize that. So can we please stop making these out of touch videos about how hard this job is? And let's all agree that every time we're tired or don't want to make a video or just feel like we've been working way too hard, we think of the little girl who saved up for weeks just to buy a product we advertised. We were given these platforms and we can have them taken away just as fast. Because again, being able to do this full time is a luxury, not a chore. Like, we really got to do better.
She is giving nothing. I used to be a contractor. I worked 60 to 80 hours a week. I had lots of money, no life to spend it on. Now I sell advertising. It's emotionally exhausted. I cold call. I'm treated like shit all day. And I sell ads to contractors. And they all shit on me and give me this kind of shit about how I don't know what real work is. So this topic is just hitting me different. Yeah. And like the sad thing is, like, the people that are being criticized right now, obviously I'm going to talk about my experience because I'm the one experiencing it, but also Hassan. I would like to think that we are pretty class conscious people. Like, I grew up dirt poor. You think I don't know what it's like to work a real job? Oh my God. Have you ever tried working a fucking customer job and having severe social anxiety? Terrible. Oh my God. I worked like a pseudo call center job. Terrible. Like, maybe if I was someone who routinely shit on other people and routinely shit on like other people's work, and I was like, contracting isn't even that hard. Oh, you put roofs. Oh my God, so hard. Okay, I get it. Yeah, you're allowed to call me a cunt at that point. But I've never said that. I've never said that ever. The only thing I've ever said is unionize. Fucking unionize. If your boss is treating you like shit, fucking fight for your rights in the workplace. You deserve more pay. You deserve less hours. You deserve more benefits. And you deserve to not be treated like shit. That's what I've said. I have said that hundreds of times. We did a fucking stream. We did not quite like a charity stream. We did a fundraising stream for workers on, I think it was like the Columbia campus, who were trying to unionize. Like, these are obviously issues I care about. And if anything, because I've had to work jobs where I'm just such a schmuck, and I just like, I'm a very bad people pleaser, and I am a fucking nerd hard worker. And that is why I've ended up in jobs multiple times where I've worked 12-hour shifts. And that is also why I actively tell people, do not give your job 110%. They do not deserve it. Okay. And it's because I know it fondly, because I've done it. And I'm like, oh, well, if I work really hard, I'll get a raise. And then I didn't get a raise. And then I quit, which happened in both of the jobs that I've worked insane shifts. Like, it got so bad when I was doing my real estate work. It got so bad, and the shifts got so bad that I would literally use my lunch break to go nap. Like, it's my lunch break. Fuck eating. I'm going to go to the nearby park and sleep on the grass and put an alarm. I feel like my ego gets attached to my work ethic. Yes, that's exactly what happens to me. Don't give, like, do not, guys, as someone who's done it, do not give your fucking employer 110%. It was in Midtown, 110% when they haven't given you a reason to give 110%. If they're paying you the bare minimum, you put in the bare minimum. And if they want you to do more, you ask for more money. And it took me forever to fucking learn this. Because I was like under the delusion. I believed the boomers when they were like, oh, if you put 110%, your effort will be rewarded. You'll get promoted. And guess what? Nothing happened. I got married, ended up living further away from my job. I would get up at 5 a.m. to avoid traffic, get there 2 hours early, start work at 9, and I got passed up for promotion. Mm. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Unless you have a good boss, because there are, I know it's rare, but there are good bosses. If you have a good boss who genuinely does respect the work that you do and does compensate you and treats you like a human being, yeah, fucking put in that 110%. Hell yeah. If that's not happening, fuck that. Fuck that boss. Guess what? Laid off 20% of my company, halted promo for 2 years. Nice. Love it. Okay, let's get back to the Asmund take.
Same time, there are also a lot of people, and I think in most traditional jobs, those people don't really have the same opportunities. It's like, for example, if you work as an accountant and you get fired from one place, it's not going to be as hard to get another job as an accountant versus if you work on Twitch and you stream on Twitch, you get banned on Twitch, it's probably going to be a lot harder for you to transition over to YouTube or Kick. That's my point, right? There's negative externalities if a streamer wants to get a real job. Yeah, of course. And so it's really not that complicated. But anyway, yeah, so Hassan said this today, and naturally everybody is congratulating themselves about, here's the dumbass clip, Hassan being welcomed into the emo community. Oh yeah, I did. Oh yeah, he did the emo. I saw that with that Johnny guy. I looked at that earlier. And so there's a lot of people. Streaming is literally the easiest part of being a content creator. You just sit down, make money, just spawns in. It's just so goddamn free. Who is this guy? Does he stream? They have 400 viewers.
Wait, one second. My favorite other part of this is how, all the content streaming isn't a real job. Yeah. When I worked as number 2 under my boss, I was tasked with training people. I always expressed to them, never show them everything. When you do 100%, you'll be called out whenever you give 98% instead of 100, which is the biggest reason to not give 100%. Because if you have even one bad day where you're like, oh, I can only give like 80%, then you get punished. Okay. Let's see the 400 viewer Andy. Let's see it.
Streaming is easy. Being good at streaming is hard.
I'm going to come. I'm going to fucking come.
Hopefully now he understands.
How long has he been doing this? He's been streaming for 4 years. Oh, dumb mayor cat. Oh, dumb mayor cat. 4 years. And he started at 200 viewers, by the way. I'm a top sales rep now, and I have to give 100% because my commission check, when I give 100% and still don't produce, I'm shit on because I'm leading the team. And when I fail, other people think they can't do it in a job where 90% of the people turn out in 2 months. Nice.
Viewers.
Starting at 200 viewers is insane. Yeah. Insane. I mean, I started at 0.
Streaming is easy. Being good at streaming is hard. Hopefully now he understands. I understand, obviously, there's a lot of people. Bad take. No, isn't 400 viewers good? Oh, it's definitely good. But you're not going to go and tell somebody who's one of the top streamers on the entire platform that it's easy. Do you really think that Hassan's experience and this random's experience is going to be the same streaming? That's insane.
Like, at the end of the day, there is like some, again, I'm not going to claim that there is not luck that goes into Twitch. 100% there's luck. 1,000,000%. But if your stream is shit, it doesn't matter how many raids you get. It doesn't matter how many collabs you do. Your stream is bad. How many people in here, raise your hand, if you got raided into a stream once, thought it was so boring, after 5 minutes you left? I know people who like have gotten so many raids, who have gotten so many collabs, tens of thousands of people, and they can't break 200 viewers. It's like they got the luck. They got all the luck they needed, and it still wasn't enough. Why? And it's because their stream is still not at the point where it is good enough to maintain those viewers. It's also the same reason why I get like a little bit annoyed when I see people get unfair criticism. A good example is like, I think Caroline Kwan, we simp for mother here, where sometimes people will try and like diminish her achievements because of where she was when she started streaming. Like, when she started streaming, her boyfriend Will is already a really established content creator. So she did get a lot of luck. Like, she started streaming and immediately started being able to go on like a lot of big streams and get a lot of collabs and get a lot of raids. But here's the thing. If her stream was ass, people would not have watched. People watch because she's eloquent, she's intelligent, she's funny, she's giving mother all the time. If her stream was her opening a video game and sitting there silently with no cam, playing poorly, she wouldn't keep any viewers. But guess what? She streams the stuff that she knows a lot about, like Oscars and stuff like that, and Hollywood, which no streamers know anything about, so it's a perfect niche for her. She's good at it. She's capable of speaking on everything from a place of like knowledge. And she's able to do it entertaining. And she's even able to come up with like her own, like, I'm sorry, the idea of like dinner and a movie. That is so smart. Oh my God. That is genius. Oh my God. That's incredible. That's incredible. But that's my point. Like, my point is like, you can diminish her achievements as much as you want. But at the end of the day, if her stream was bad, she wouldn't keep any viewers. She would keep a couple, maybe. But she has a niche. She's gorgeous, which it's not the end all be all. You can be gorgeous as hell, but if your stream is bad, it's bad. But obviously, pretty privilege is very real, especially on Twitch. So she's funny, she's smart, she knows what she's talking about, she plays to her strengths, she's gorgeous, and she's very charismatic. Obviously, she has a lot of experience from Hollywood and stuff, so that helps her a lot. But anytime I see her on anyone else's stream, she just is such a natural. And that helps, like having that sort of like charisma on cam, it helps a lot. Someone in chat wrote it, but I wanted to, here, this is it. This is the perfect thing. If only good streams thrive, explain how Asmongold exists. Well, you have to understand. What is a good stream to someone else may not necessarily be a good stream to you. There's a lot of nerds and losers who relate to Asmongold, and they're like, he's just like me for real. I also don't clean my house. I also let roaches climb on me. He just like me for real. And at the end of the day, you can go back and scroll chat. People were laughing at his jokes when we played his video. People were kecking in this chat. And we're not even like the biggest fans of Asmon here. He's still capable of being funny. And I've never watched his, to be fair, I've never watched his WoW games because I don't play WoW. But I bet his WoW streams are pretty unique and pretty entertaining. And that's why people watch him. There are streams that I don't watch that I think are boring as hell. Like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna say it. Not even to beef or anything, but like Miskiff's stream is so boring. I'm sorry. I will say it. I will say it. I was doing like a little stream hopping and I was like, I'm gonna watch streamers that I've never watched before. I was like, I click on Ludwig's stream. I was like, wow, Ludwig is entertaining. Holy shit. How is he making his fucking sponsored gotcha stream entertaining? What the fuck? Gee, oh my. Open S-Fan stream. I'm like, this is entertaining. I opened Miskiff's stream. I was like, this is the most boring shit I've ever seen in my life. I was like, oh my God. No, I don't get it. It's fine. I don't get it. But that's my point. Like, there are going to be instances of streams that you don't like that are boring as hell for you, but other people like them and they like them for a reason. And this is basically where I'm at here. A good stream doesn't guarantee success, but a bad stream guarantees failure. Yep. It's kind of like duoing in like League or an Overwatch or whatever. It doesn't really matter if you have a mercy pocket if you can't fucking hit anything. You have to be able to hit the things first. But if you can hit them and you have the mercy pocket, the games are fucking easy. If you can land a single shot like me on fucking Widow, I could get 10 mercies on me and it wouldn't matter because I can't land shit, man. I can't fucking land a shot. It's too hard. If you can't trace, you're cooked. I'm cooked. I'm cooked. What is the Valorant equivalent? What's the chick that can res people? That chick. You're playing someone else and you're getting pocketed in Valorant and you're getting rezzed or whatever. I don't play that game. I only play good games. The joke there is that I play Heroes of the Storm, so you can disregard my opinions. Anyway. Anyway. So yeah, that's all. That's all. And I think it's just like a matter of like, just have a little bit, like have a little bit of humility and recognize that the people who have a lot of viewers, maybe those are not streamers that you would watch, but other people would. Like Kai Cenat is a great example. I don't watch his stream. I tried watching his stream. It was kind of like, whatever. I didn't enjoy it personally. But you cannot deny that he is entertaining enough that he has like 100,000 viewers that want to fucking watch him. I promise you, those people aren't fucking bots. They're real people who they like what he brings to the table. They want to see him fucking screech. They want that. They want to see him be like, oh my God. And they want to see him get jerked off under a table. I don't know why. It's not me, but like, he has people who want to watch that, man. And you cannot deny that he does what he does well. I am way too neurodivergent for Kai. Honestly, I feel that. Same with Jinxie. Yeah. Hassan uploaded a new video. This is why I hate streaming. Did he actually? But yeah, that's it. That's all. Like, also different age groups. You know, different people are gonna want to like. Probably very few people that are adults. I would say the viewership of people above 30 that watch Mr. Beast is probably really small, but he knows how to appeal to kids. He fucking knows how to appeal to kids. He knows what he needs to do that thing well.
Now, let me tell you something. This is part of the broadcast where I tell you a little bit about my personal news, about what's going on in my life.
He really did upload a video titled, "This is why I hate streaming." Oh my God. Okay, maybe we'll watch it in a second, but let's finish this video first.
Of course, 400 viewers is good. But don't go talk to somebody who gets 20,000 regularly and act like you're on the same level, because you're not. All streamers have some kind of cope. Well, what's the cope here? I mean, I'm not really sure if I'm understanding this. You say people disagree with his take on the whole job thing, made up fake reason to shit on him for it. When you added a word to his take socially, it does a lot of heavy lifting, unless I miss some context, kind of disingenuous. Well, he's talking about socially. Like, the reason why I'm saying that is because that's what he's saying. So, for example, like, if I listen to the clip, right? Like, you just listen to the first few seconds of the clip.
No. Social battery wise, unless you're in
So I'm not using the word. I listen.
Exactly, Fido rules. Exactly.
Listen to the clip. That's all. It's not hard. I think most people made up their mind on something like this before they listened to it. So whenever they have to hear context that makes their original assumption wrong, they're getting mad at me.
And it's like, I get it. I do. Especially people who, people who've tried to do streaming and maybe didn't succeed for one reason or another, or maybe people who've never done content and have no idea what content is like. But I think there's a lot of people who see that and think, fuck you. I have to go to work tomorrow and I have to stock some fucking shelves and deal with coworkers that I hate. And you're sitting here complaining about your fucking job. Fuck you. And they go from there. When in reality, when you actually listen to what he's saying, or anyone for that matter, everyone is just saying, yeah, it just comes with some challenges that are really exhausting challenges. Specifically, it's very exhausting to have to be so socially drained after streaming. And that sucks. But I'm still very privileged, very happy with what I have. And at the end of the day, I wouldn't want to do something else. That's it. But like, people are just so mad at the idea that like someone who is more privileged than them has the audacity to complain about anything ever. I feel like billionaires, and a good number of millionaires, by the way, yeah, when they complain, it's like, okay, dude, fuck off. Like, you literally don't have to work. You literally don't. You can just exist and do whatever the fuck you want. Fuck off. Or like Nepo babies, it's like, bro, you literally don't have a job and you've never had one. You just coast and do whatever you want. Like, are you kidding me? Stop. I think content creators are still human beings, okay? I think content creators still have things that exhaust them and they're allowed to talk about those things. I just don't think they should pretend like their ability or their privilege to stream is somehow that they have the hardest job on the planet. But no one is doing that, because every single person in the content space, okay, knows that they're privileged. And probably has mentioned it hundreds of times. Nepo baby, like people whose mom and dad pay for everything and they never have to work, ever. Oh, mechanized, thank you. Very nice of you.
That's the problem. Exactly. It's like a supermodel saying they have a hard.
Also, this is a bit, I think, in my opinion, this is a little bit of a capitalism problem where everyone has been convinced that they need to fight with other workers. Like, the time that you are spending getting mad that somebody else has better living circumstances should be time spent getting mad at the fact that there are bosses that get to decide how well you live. He was just, people also failing to realize that this wasn't just Hassan randomly complaining about his job. He was describing the struggles with his social battery during his parasocialist segment. just got here. Did you get canceled for being tired after streaming? Yes. 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 Yes.
Better job than a catalog model. Well, I'm not really sure. Hassan's an artist. His father Simmons.
Also, yeah, material envy is crucial for the function of capitalism. Yes. I mean, like, capitalists who actually own capital and control working conditions for the rest of us. Sorry, I got sidetracked 1 second. He was describing how he couldn't enjoy March's housewarming. Oh my God, dude. Wait, we have the same brain cell? We literally the same brain cell. I went to March's, is it March or Marsh? I feel like such an asshole, but I went to his housewarming. And I had a friend's birthday party the same night. And so I went to my friend's birthday party. I brought her like a gift and I was like, yeah. I was like, I just need to stay here for like
These
an hour.
haters will be your waiters at the table of success, LOL.
LOL. And I went to the birthday party. I was like, happy birthday. You know, we need to hang out, blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay. I stayed for an hour. I was like, okay, I think enough time has passed. I was like, okay, I have to leave. I have to stream in the morning. Go to March's house party. And I was like, just came to say hi. Brought some alcohol because it's a party. I was like, here you go. And he's like, I just put it on the table, blah, blah. And I felt like such an asshole because I was like, I left in 30 minutes. I was like, I'm just going to come say hi to everyone I know, socialize a little bit. I'm fucking tired. It's 10 p.m. and I have to stream tomorrow at 7 a.m. And it was hilarious because I saw Hassan came in, said hi. Kaya comes in, played with Kaya for a little bit, obviously. And then he left within like 10 minutes. He was like, okay, that's it. I gotta go. I gotta go home. I was like, damn, he must be tired. Fuck. And then I left within like 5 or 10 minutes after. So like literally the same brain cell. The same brain cell. Because it's like, I want to be there. I want to say hi. I want to like, you know, congratulate. Like, hey, nice apartment, nice place. Hey, puggers. Just like bring something small. Like, here you go. Here's some alcohol. Smile. Have fun. Okay, good. I can leave now. Oh. So every time you say capitalists own capital, I remember a tweet of the Brazilian right-winger YouTuber who said he was questioned how he was a capitalist because he did not own the means of production. And he said, I have the video production software. So. Did you see his emo transformation? No, I did not. But yeah. I had a roommate who was mean to me like 4 times and it made everything I did in that apartment less enjoyable because I was constantly on edge. If I had 10,000 people being mean to me 8+ hours a day, I don't know how I would survive. Yeah. I mean, it's like, it's mostly compartmentalization. It's like, I don't care what these people think and I refuse to care. Oh man, there was a chat message I wanted to read that I wanted to show you guys, but I can't remember it, but that's okay. We'll finish this video.
For being the young Turks, everybody always has their opinion about Hassan. And I understand that you might not like things that Hassan has said on his stream. There are things that he might have said that have upset you, that have made you mad, that you don't like. Why not focus on the real ones? Why are you inventing things that didn't happen and then getting mad about them? It makes you look stupid. If you have all of these problems with somebody, then it doesn't seem very legitimate whenever you have to make up new problems that don't actually exist. That's what my opinion is.
But that's also why, I mean, I got a little bit of flack for it, but whatever, I don't care. The Nick Merckx clip that came out where it sounded like he was saying the N-word. I have enough things that I don't like about that guy. I don't need to make up things. I don't need to watch a clip and be like, oh my God, he totally said it. He totally said it. And not even trying to see if he did or didn't. I don't need to make stuff up or like invent stuff to get upset about when his like homophobia and transphobia is enough. It's in, or like the way that he talks to his wife. It's like, those are all things that are enough for me to attack him. I don't need to make shit up or take the least charitable version of something and be upset about that. And if you have things that you don't like about Hassan, if you genuinely are like, I don't give a fuck that he thinks that America deserved 9/11, I think the fact that he says that at all is insulting to the people who died during 9/11. Okay, great. You have a legitimate reason. That's actually something he said. That's something he stands by. Maybe your understanding of the statement is a little lacking, but you're upset about something he actually said and did. Whereas the people that are getting mad about this, they're literally mad because they think he said, streaming is really hard. Streaming is the hardest job anyone can have. He didn't say that. He didn't say it. Stop shadowboxing, please.
They're soft. Yes. The guys are making, what's this here? A career. These guys making a career of being bitter. Isn't that pathetic? Oh, yeah, absolutely. The area of conversation with politics is more draining than some other types of streaming. Oh, yeah. Hassan didn't start from zero. Who cares if...
Which, that's another thing, by the way. If you do content that's political, I'm a glutton for punishment, so I don't really care. But if you do politics for content, it's like, you should see people's face when I tell them I do politics. Like their face, like their eyes get so wide and they're like, what? Like their face screams at me. Why would you do that? Why would you pick to do that? It's like, because don't look, okay? Listen. He still started from zero. 44 viewers on Facebook ain't having a head start. Yeah. Ay, caramba. Bro, why is it when I look up, you're getting canceled? Listen, Bryce. Look, Bryce. I can explain, okay? Look. It's not my fault. All right, it's not my fault. People are just being haters. That's all. Okay.
He did. Very few people start really from zero. Most people have advantages, and I'll tell you one thing. If you're able to be talking in this chat, you didn't start from zero either. There's people in the world.
I did start from zero. Just need to mention it really quickly. Like, just know. You got to put some respect on my fucking name, okay? Because, yeah, that's right. I did. Yeah. You see this, guys? You see this? That's right. 6 viewers. It says 6 viewers, but like the first stream I ever had, I had 0 viewers. And then I told my friends to like hop in chat because I was lonely. So let it be known. Let it be known. Okay. I didn't get a free head start like Hamas Abi over here.
That don't have an internet connection, and you do. But somehow you're going to be complaining about how you can't fix your wife, and those people who don't have an internet connection are working to get one. So you can complain and cry about, oh, Hassan got in, he's a young Turks, his uncle worked there, and all these things can be true. But the reality is that all of us have different degrees of privilege. That's why we're here. Do you really think that somebody without privilege, without any privilege, is going to be sitting at 9 p.m. watching a video game stream? Get the fuck out of here. Come on. What are you thinking? Being alive is a privilege. Oh, yeah, for sure. And also, people can't control, this is the other thing. People can't control the circumstances that they're born under. Whether that means if they're disabled, whether that means if they're white, black, male, female, gay, not gay, straight.
This is always the thing that makes me laugh, by the way, when people are like, well, you were a woman, so your life is really easy. Besides it being wrong, obviously. The two, wait, did he say gay, not gay? Wait, sorry.
Male, whether that means if they're disabled, whether that means if they're white, black, male, female, gay, not gay, straight, I guess you could say. Whether
not gay, straight, you could say. Wait, I'm sorry, the delivery was just funny. Okay.
Whether they're poor, whether they're rich, whether they're short, whether they're tall. So I find it to be odd that we all agree that it's generally not a good idea to make fun of people for things that they can't control, but somehow people have no problem demonizing a person because they had advantages that they also couldn't control either.
Wow.